Good evening. Oh my God, I did it again.
Every time.
I did it again. And oh gosh.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Craig, and welcome to tonight's episode of Guildgates and Goblins, and the third episode of our Curse of Strahd campaign. One day I'll get it right. It's not like I've done it like 20 times already. Oh well. So, not many announcements tonight. The only one being really that Alias and Lochan are both absent this week. They're too busy for us, I'm afraid. However, they will be back next week. And really, that's it for announcements. I don't think I have anything else left to say. So does anyone else have anything they'd like to bring up?
I have a great mustache.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, yeah, that's all. Yeah. All right, okay.
Yeah, Craig, you forgot that part.
Yeah,
Okay.
Look at John's mustache. That's pretty much the big news of the week.
Yeah, nice one, John. Well
Thanks.
groomed. Well done. Okay. All right, so last session, we joined the party as they met for the first time the vampire count Strahd von Zarovich. And during the encounter, Strahd asked Irina, a local woman who had drawn his attention in some way, to spend her life with him and join him at Castle Ravenloft. She was seemingly drawn in by his words, but the party stopped her before she went to him. Her brother, Ismark, rushed Strahd and drew his sword, proclaiming that Strahd would never take her. With that, Strahd summoned a swarm of bats and raised several zombies, which he sent at the party. Ismark tried to attack Strahd, but any blow he landed seemed to rebound off Strahd, and a blood-red light lit up the sky, seemingly emanating from a tower in Castle Ravenloft. As the fight went on, Strahd overpowered Ismark and bit him in the neck, and before the party could stop him, Strahd vanished, along with Ismark, in a cloud of mist. After clearing out the remainder of Strahd's forces in the cemetery, the party agreed to take Irina to the town of Vallaki. They spent the night at her manor, during which they briefly saw a ghostly procession of dead adventurers like themselves that nightly passes through the village. The next morning, they set off on the road to Vallaki, and during their travels so far, Lokai briefly saw an illusion of herself hanging by the neck from a gallows at a crossroads, and they came upon a scarecrow that is seemingly well-equipped to hunt the ravens of the land. Towards the end of the first day, they were approached on the road by two men who greeted the party and said that they were expecting them. They introduced themselves as Vistani, traveling people who seemed to maintain some form of a happy life in Barovia, and invited the party to spend the night in their camp and enjoy their hospitality. Whilst in the Vistani camp, the party were invited to meet Madame Eva, a seer of the Vistani in whose vision great stock was placed. The party met with the old crone, who seemingly knew who each of them were and of their past. She gave 5 enigmatic hints and clues to the party of things to seek out in Barovia, which may aid them. After the meeting, the party bedded down for the evening in the Vistani camp, and before they wake up the next morning, Layson, during the night, you are beset by a terrible dream.
Oh God, no.
You find yourself in an ancient, dark building. The walls covered in thick patches of black mold, a strong smell of rot and damp surround you, almost making you gag. You hear a distant, high-pitched screaming emanating from beneath the floorboards. Urgency forces you forward until you step down into a kitchen. Blood pooling around the floor up to your ankles, and floating within it are several human limbs, their size disturbingly infantile in nature. At the center of the room, on a butcher's block, is the source of the screaming, a child. She is entangled in thick, stabbing vines that are emanating from all 3 corners of the room, and you move towards the girl and see about trying to set her free. But try as you might to pull them away from the screaming child, you find that they only regrow thicker, each vine moving to replace the other over and over again, when you hear a soft voice of a woman in your ear, and she says, "Entangled by 3, one root removed to be free." And rushing to a corner of the room, you find where the dark vines are coming up through the cracked, bloody tiles of the kitchen floor, and grabbing a meat cleaver from the nearby counter, you begin to hack through it. And as you do, vines and thorns whip out at you, scraping your exposed arms and face, but with a final hefty swing, you sever the root. As you do, all 3 of the vines shrivel up and wither, the child seemingly released. As you dash over to offer what comfort you can, the dream suddenly ends, and you awake with a start in the Vistani camp.
Jesus. I would like to scream.
You'd like to scream.
Oh,
Oh, we lost John?
John's dead.
Awkward.
Oh, boy.
Well done, Craig. You made it too
The
scary.
dream was too much for Layson. who
sweet
found himself-
Jonathan.
Yeah. All right, okay. So we'll pick up with John once he reconnects. But for the rest of you, you've all woken up in the Vistani camp after a night's rest, and the kind of jovial atmosphere that they had before seems to be a bit more subdued this morning. There's a few people milling around the camp, seemingly preparing some form of breakfast or another. Irina, you can see, is crouched down by one of the nearby fires and seems to be scooping something from a pot into a small bowl. And John, you're back.
Look how scared he looks.
He's
Oh,
so
man.
upset that happened.
I hate it.
To anyone listening to the audio version, link in the description, that must have been amazing. I would like to scream. John disappears forever.
All right. So John, just as you missed that, basically everyone's woken up and you're in the Vistani camp. Nothing of great note has happened. So
Okay.
what would you all like to do as you all sort of come awake for the day?
Ooh.
Like to compose myself the best I can, and
Sure.
I would like to end my T-post.
I would like to. I would go out and see what's cooking for breakfast.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of, I assume you all sort of gather around the pot. So it's seemingly just like a communal pot for the camp.
Yeah.
Seems to be some form of oatmeal or porridge. It looks kind of grey and tasteless mostly. But there's kind of a ladle inside that invites you to sort of help yourself.
Yeah, I'd take a bowl.
Sure.
yeah,
I would
I'd
as well.
try to
Okay.
scarf something down.
Sure. So you all enjoy a bland breakfast.
I don't.
My favorite.
I prestidigitation on it and make it taste like apple.
Nice.
You enjoy an apple breakfast?
It's like a apple cinnamon.
Apple cinnamon porridge or oatmeal or okay.
Yeah.
It's quite palatable then.
So what's next? I say to the party.
Well,
They don't seem as jovial as they did yesterday.
hopefully less scarecrows.
Yeah, that was spooky. I almost didn't even talk on the way by.
Yeah. I kind of hope we don't see more of those.
Was I don't know. I mean, we're still at Valaki, right? We're not
Yeah.
deviating from there.
I mean, I guess we just
Definitely.
get ready and head out, right?
And not much else we can do, I guess.
If it gets me out of this place, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys all start to pack up your things, and you can see Irina taking note if you guys make it to leave. She also gathers what few belongings she has, and as you begin to make your way out of the camp, Grigori, the familiar Vistani who you met the night before, comes out of a caravan, and you can see kind of stretches in the morning air, and as sees as you're all leaving, he calls out and says, "My friends, leaving so soon?"
Yeah, unfortunately, we got some business over in the next town, so appreciate the hospitality, but we gotta be on our way.
If you don't mind me asking, where is it you're off to?
Valaki.
What is your business there?
We don't really have any. We're just kind of going and seeing what happens.
Very well then, I wish you the best of luck. Know that our camp always remains here, and there'll always be a space around our fire for you, as long as you have a story or two to swap. And he kind of grins at you all. I assume you all sort of shuffle by and head off on the road
Yeah,
out
I'd
west.
be going back to the road.
Yeah. Okay. So, you guys join back onto the muddy path that heads out west towards Valaki and begin to follow it. And just without Rosalind this week, who's leading the party this time?
I can lead it.
Yeah, I'd be up front with Loka, I guess.
Okay. So Lokai and Godfrey out front. Sure thing. Okay. So you follow the path. And again, it still runs parallel to this river that the camp was beside. And you follow it for about half an hour or so until it arrives at sort of the base of a canyon that's kind of either side of you. And at the far end of which you can see there's a great waterfall above you kind of spilling down into this pool. And there's large clouds of mist billowing forth from it. And you can see just above you as well, there's a great stone bridge that seems to span the canyon nearly 1,000 feet overhead or so.
Oh,
But the
shit.
path, yeah, it is quite high up. And you can kind of guess that maybe if you'd followed the path to Ravenloft earlier, it probably follows along and leads across that bridge.
Gotcha.
But the path continues on, and I assume you follow it round. So again, the path's going to continue about for another hour or so, fairly uneventful. Is there anything you guys would like to do as you're traveling, or?
I'm just gonna keep an eye out for any dangers or baddies or scarecrows that may or may not impede our progress.
Okay.
Yes,
You wanna make-
I'll be specifically keeping an eye out for scarecrows.
Okay. If you want to make a perception check for me, then Lokai, just to keep an eye out as you're moving along the road.
And dead locais as well.
And dead.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. Keeping a good lookout, you peer into the forest surrounding you and further down the path, and seemingly all remains quiet out in the forest today. Nothing seemingly stalks you as you move along the path until you follow it, as I said, for about an hour or so, until it comes to what looks to be a fork in the road where there's essentially two paths. One path leads west down into a valley, and you can make out there's seemingly a single structure surrounded by walls down that path, and then the path to the north curves round and continues through the forest. And as you get a little bit closer, Irina pikes up and says, "The road north is the one we want."
I was gonna ask. I was like, shit. Which way
That's
do we
the
go?
one that leads to Valaki. The other one, well, I'm not sure, but I don't think that's the... Where that leads to is not a place we should go.
Well, where does it lead to?
The townsfolk call it Old Bone Grinder.
Oh,
Used to
Yeah,
be,
that makes sense.
yeah.
you come up with some really nice names for places.
Yeah. Used to be a family in the village owned it and provided bread to Barovia and Valaki, but now I think some of the old crones live there. I believe it's the source of where those foul pies come from.
Oh.
Hmm.
I knew not to trust that old lady.
Yes, all the more reason to stay away, I say.
Yeah, do you know anything about those pies?
Well, other than they turn people into addicted people, seemingly in a stupor, I don't know.
Yeah, I had a little look. Whoever makes them is pretty powerful, like a mage.
A mage, you say?
Yeah, they're pretty deeply magic.
Very
All
well.
the better to not get
I mean,
involved.
I was gonna say, if a
I've
bunch
got
of
one,
old
if we need one for later.
I was gonna say, if a bunch of old crones live out in the middle of nowhere, chances are they probably got something up their sleeve to stay alive out here.
Yeah, I'm starting to think they might not be crones. If they're staying alive, that is.
A little bit of magical ability never hurting anybody.
That's
I don't know
certainly
about
true.
that. You haven't hanging out with Godfrey enough. I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
about
that's
that.
true. I did teleport us here. You might have a point, but most of the time it doesn't hurt anybody.
So north then.
North it is.
All right.
Let's walk north.
All right. So you guys follow the road north for about another 30 minutes or so until Lokai. You're leading the party. And again, that natural 20 you got, you can hear a little bit far off in the distance what sounds to be the jingle of harness further down the road. And what sounds like, yes, like harness like you would find in a carriage or a horse, or, you know, like straps of leather and metal jingling alongside each other, and hoofbeats pounding along the road. And it seems to be getting closer to you, but the mist is too thick for you to see what that could be.
I stop and I kind of like stop the party and I go, something's coming. Are like, I'm assuming we're near woods, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much woods either side.
Like, do we want to like get out of the way? Do we want to hide? Do we want to face this?
But do we want to look spooky? Like, do we want to hide in case they see
Well, I
us?
mean,
and
we
then
can
look like we're
get out of
gonna
the way
attack?
and just
Like,
wait
I
till it goes
think
by.
we might look a little bit more suspicious if we hide, but
What if this is
I say we
Strahd?
just stand to the side.
yeah, let's just stand to the side. Even if it's Strahd, he... Oh, wait, Arena. Yeah, he would mind.
Oh yeah, horse.
Well, we don't want to go into the woods. If you remember what happened last time, we didn't exactly get a warm welcome. So, I say we just stand to the side. It's not going to be Strahd. What are the chances? I mean, I don't know. What are the chances? Arena, what are the chances?
She
Okay,
clams up with fear.
yeah,
Okay,
okay,
so-
fine.
You're moving to the side of the road, but sorry, what were you?
How about she hide? Wait, is it like inclined at all, like towards the
not-
woods?
Not really.
Oh.
No, it's kind of a flat path.
I can help her hide, actually. If we want to make her hide, I can hide her.
Look,
It wouldn't hurt, really.
I
Like,
mean,
just in
even
case.
if she hides, if Strahd sees us, he knows she's with us. There's no point.
Well, if she's visibly not with us, then...
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, I can do all sorts of things.
I'm glad there's someone else in the party that can.
Yay! Can you do that too?
It depends on what you're saying.
Oh, that's gonna be really helpful later on. We're not gonna die, and rest? We're gonna be fine.
I've always been good at hiding.
Yeah, I must be good at running away. Alright, well,
He's not lying about that part.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what's the plan?
I
Would
pay
you like
you.
to would you like to
Pass
move
to the side.
to the side of the
Whatever
road,
you
but
wanna
not
do, then go ahead, but
okay. All right. So you guys move off to the side of the road and make space for whatever might be coming along. And as you do, you can see through the mist further down the road a figure mounted on a horse comes galloping along the road towards you. Scraps of bardine and harness trail from the horse, and its coat is dark and speckled with splotches of very bright white. The figure on the horse is wearing a long dark cloak. A wide-brimmed hat is pulled low over the figure's face, obscuring their features. And as they get a little bit closer, you can see that there's a sword sheathed by their side. But the one thing that strikes you as odd is that the figure is holding an unlit lantern raised in their hand, as if warding off the dark, despite the daylight. And it's getting closer as you go by the side of the road. Is there anything you like to do, or just keep an eye on it?
keep an eye on it.
Okay.
I would ready yourselves, perhaps subtly.
I am ready.
Hands on my crossbow, just kind of like.
So you grab the hilts of weapons and prepare, and just in case anything hostile happens, or seemingly. But as the figure gets closer and closer to you, you can see the pale white splotches that you thought were part of the horse's coat actually look to be bone. There's poking through looks to be the decomposing flesh of the horse as it gets closer to you. And as the figure on the horse gets closer and closer, you can see in gaps of its clothing, and as the head bounces up with the gallop of the horse, the figure looks to be skeletal, almost entirely in nature.
Well, I
My
did
idea
hear he
sounds
rides on a
pretty
pale horse.
However, I will say it is just riding straight along the road, and even though you guys are sort of off to one side, it doesn't look to be doing anything that indicates any sort of aggression towards you. It is just riding along the center of the road.
All right. I'll let him pass if he wants
Okay.
to pass.
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
keep my eyes on him if and
Yeah.
as they pass.
Sure. Okay, so you guys watch, and yeah, the skeletal rider rides straight between all of you, and you see, it's just as I described, he's got this kind of unlit lantern raised in its hand, and seemingly heading off further back east from the direction you came, and slowly it passes you until the sounds of its galloping fade off into the distance, and you lose sight of it.
Well, I don't see any reason we should spend any time thinking about that. Should we keep going to Valaki?
I hated that. Let's
Yeah,
keep going.
It wasn't great. I don't want to dwell.
I'm sure it won't cause any problems later.
No, he's
This
riding in the
place
opposite
never ceases to
direction.
amaze me.
All right,
leave.
let's move on.
Moving on. Okay. So you follow the road a little bit more, and after it rounds a small bend, you can make out what looks to be a large, still lake off towards your north. Its waters reflecting the sky like a mirror. Thick wood surrounds the entirety of its edges, and to the north of the lake itself, you can see there's a thick wall of mountains that border the land. But the path continues along west and essentially runs parallel to this lake for a little bit until you leave that behind. And after about another hour or so of travel, you eventually, following the old Svalich road, that meanders into a valley. The woods recede, and it reveals what looks to be a sullen mountain town, surrounded by a wooden palisade. And thick fog presses up against the wall, as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town aslumber. And as you follow the road a little bit closer, you can see the dirt road ends at a set of sturdy iron gates, with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. And planted in the ground and flanking the road outside the gates are what looks to be half a dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled on them.
Huh. They really don't like wolves.
Well,
I-
for what
I-
it's worth,
Sorry,
after
go
we
ahead.
fought them for just trying to be in a different place, I can see why.
Sure, but they're animals. You don't have to try to warn against them.
Maybe they don't have good food here. Maybe that's all their options is.
Oh, that's depressing.
I
This
turned to
place
Irina.
is depressing.
Agreed.
Sorry. I was gonna say I turned to Irina and I say, "Do you know what this place is?
This will be Valaki.
This is it."
This is it.
It's got walls. Maybe it's got guards and, safety.
Protection.
Joy. And not a skeletal horseman.
Maybe so.
If we get in there, Loki, and everyone's skeletal, I am going to be livid.
Oh god.
All right. Shall we go
Well,
in
only
then?
one way to find out, Godfrey. Let's go.
All right. I agree. In you go. I will notably stand behind Loki.
Okay. So you're all walking up to the gate.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So as you get a little bit closer, you can make out the two figures behind the gate appear to be guards, both a man and a woman. They're dressed in patchy leather armor, and they have kettle helmets protecting their heads, and they both wield long pikes that they prop against their sides. And as you approach, the man calls out, "Oh, who goes there? Who approaches the morning gate?"
Just to make sure, they aren't skeletons.
No, they aren't. They're clearly regular humans.
There's some visitors just coming in, trying to get inside.
Some visitors, eh? Your names?
Name is Layson.
He kind of looks towards the rest of the party. So do you all give? Does anyone not give their names, or do you?
I'd give my
Yes,
name.
you are. All right. What's your business in Valaki then?
Seeking refuge.
Yeah,
You're
that.
not the first to ask for that. Well, we'll see if we can offer you it. Come on in then. And he moves off to one side, and you can hear him cranking a lever. Essentially, this large gate is raised before you and opened out towards you. And as I assume you all step through the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
would
as
like
you-
to stay outside.
So as you all pass through, he calls out to you as you pass by. Best be back before sundown, yeah? Otherwise, you aren't getting back in till morning.
Back in.
We're going in.
Sorry, that was my bad. What the guard meant was that if you're out after sundown, you don't get
It's
in.
like a
Right.
curfew. Come back before
Yeah.
dark.
Okay,
Gotcha.
Sorry, that was my bad. I goofed that line.
Well, we're
up.
not going outside. It's fine. Don't worry. There's
We like
sun here.
walls.
Well, yeah, there's a daylight.
Oh, well, you and I have different definitions of daylight, my friend.
He kind of looks confused and doesn't seem to understand what exactly you're talking about.
Stop it.
I'll wonder it.
We need to
Okay.
make friends here.
Is there a place we can get a drink around here?
Yeah, you'll be
Excellent
wanting
question.
the Blue Water Inn. Just follow the road, you'll see it. And so as you guys kind of make your way into the town of Valaki, you can see there is this main muddy road that seems to head straight through the middle, with several homes and buildings flanking the road. Decorating the eaves and edges of some of the structures are what looks to be wilted and sorry-looking garlands. The occasional person walks the streets, but it doesn't hum with the same sort of activity you would expect from a town this size.
At
So
least
you guys
better
know-
than people.
Yeah, it looks a bit more cheery, if possible, than the village of Barovia.
Okay.
Okay.
Shouldn't
So
we
you-
be getting Irina to where she needs to go?
Where does she need to go? Oh, the Burgermeister. Yeah.
No, it was the
She has to
church.
Oh, the
That's fine.
father. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Find
I believe it's at the far end of Valaki. I did come here once before in my younger years. St. Andrew's Church is where we want.
well, let's head over there then, shall we?
Might be best.
We can get a drink after, Leeson.
Okay.
Okay. So, as you walk along the muddy streets, you come upon what looks to be a strange storage yard just off to your left. And it's this large stockyard that has several locked sheds along its periphery and lies adjacent to a roomy warehouse. A wooden sign above the front gate reads Arasek Stockyard, and a smaller structure alongside that is the sign above which reads Arasek General Store. And part of the front end of the stockyard is a sturdy-looking carnival wagon. Its colorful paint peeling off and faded lettering on its side spells out the words Rictavio's Carnival of Wonders. A heavy padlock secures the back door of the Carnival Wagon. But standing on the actual street itself, or just to the side of the street, is a colourful puppet tent in which a show has been put on in front of a small crowd of children. But are you guys wanting to walk by, or do you want to...
I'd walk up to the show.
You want to watch the puppet show?
I want to watch the puppet show.
100% want to watch the puppet show.
As
a man of the arts.
As Godfrey's walking up, I'm like, man, you might fit right in. You're just about the size of a puppet.
Okay, A, hilarious, and B, look, we need to study the culture here. We might discover something. And I'm going to start with the puppet show.
Loki,
what
if we
more
let them
culture thing could you study?
Well, in this place, not much, judging by it.
Okay, fine.
Loki, if we let these silly fools check out the puppet show, I say that we head over to the general store, do something potentially useful.
I can be on board with that.
A fool is a good word in my line of work.
I look at Godfrey. I'm like, can you take care of yourself for a few minutes?
I mean, probably. Can you?
All right.
You kind of stick out here.
Yeah, I stick out anywhere I go.
Oh, wait, I'm a gnome. Never mind.
Yeah.
Off you go.
Yeah. All right, let's go, Nerylus.
Okay, so the two of you head off to the general store, and we'll rejoin you guys in a moment. But for Layson and Godfrey, who are looking at the puppet show, so it seems to be the show's already in progress, and the story you're sort of joining it end act, third act, or whatever it is. I can't remember exactly the layout of theater performances. But
such a man of culture, Craig. I love it.
So as you approach, you can see that there's what looks to be a number of small puppets on the stage, and they're all being kind of jostled around and acting out in exaggerated fashions. But a puppet of a small girl asks to a small boy, "How will we escape?" And you can see that both figures are in what looks to be a metal cage, and they're pounding on the bars. And alongside that, there is a trio of ugly-looking women who just walk onto the scene. So as they walk on, you hear them cackle out, "Our magics are too strong, and you will never escape, children. Now it's time for us to feast upon your brother." They laugh, moving closer to the cage, and as they get closer, one of them says, "The first bite shall be mine, as I am the wisest," says what looks to be the oldest of the crones, drawing near. Then another one says, "No, sister, as prettiest I shall enjoy the first succulent bite of this child's flesh." And she looks to be covered in warts and boils. And finally, the third one says, No, you both are too stupid for such an honor. We should go to me, the cleverest." And that is the third crones, seemingly dressed all in black. And they begin to bicker and fight amongst themselves, their puppets bumping and jostling into one another, and drawing a laugh from one or two of the children in the crowd, but most seem to remain a bit too quiet. And as this kind of jostling and fighting goes on and on and on, you can see one of them is suddenly shoved into what looks to be a miniature cauldron along one side of the stage, and as it does, paper flames emanate from the base of the puppet show, and screaming and yelling breaks out between the two remaining crones. And as that happens, the prop of the cage drops open, and both of the childlike puppets fall onto the ground. And the young girl puppet calls out, "Quickly, brother! The coven is broken, and now we must run!" And they flee off the edge of the stage as the two crone puppets continue to fight until slowly a curtain is drawn over the show.
I clap.
I clap too.
Okay. You two are the only ones who clap. And the rest of the children look around, confused for a moment before they seem to just meander off along the streets, seemingly back to whatever
I've
lives
seen
they
some
lead.
tough crowds, but this is ridiculous.
Wow,
That was a beautiful show.
I feel like that was more a precautionary tale than something enjoyed.
Do you think it could be real?
Well, I think we might have met the people pulling that off. Irina said that, that windmill is where the pies came from, and we've already met a weird old crone selling pies, and they looked like they were cooking children in the puppet show.
If I had any ounce of courage, I might go investigate.
My friend, that simply means you have common sense, not a lack of courage.
Well, we'll definitely keep it in the back of our mind. Where did the other two run off to?
Well, sorry,
they went
before-
to the store.
As you guys are still chatting a minute, you can see the figure behind the puppet tent has begun to pull down the tent, and
I'd
figure-
approach them.
Okay, so you approach them. Okay, that was said with quite a lot of conviction. I approach them.
Sorry, I forgot I'm not a paladin. Greetings, citizen!
Okay, so as you get a little bit closer, you can see the figure looks to be elven in nature. Probably the first non-human you've seen, apart from each other in the land of Barovia. So their graceful features highlight a face fixed into a warm and welcoming smile as he looks towards you, approaching him. And he wears a purple and white doublet with a cream scarf tied around his neck. Black hose embroidered with purple cover his legs, and his feet are covered by pointed purple shoes. His head is covered by a wide-brimmed black hat with a purple feather affixed to the side, and completing the look is a slim cane grasped in his hand. And you can see that the shaft of the cane looks to be that of a varnished pale wood, with the end of it covered by a silvered cap. But the head of the cane is carved very beautifully into the shape of an eagle, and its two eyes are bright red gemstones. And as you approach, he claps his hands together and goes, "Ah, hello! I am Rick Tavio. I saw you enjoying the show. What did you think?"
It was quite something. Based on a
Well-
true story?
Just stories you hear as you travel through this land, I guess.
That was fabulous, I must say. Being a man of art culture myself, that was awesome.
A man of culture, you say? From where do you hail, fine sir? Can't be this miserable place.
Oh, dear God, no. Just a small town called Gratia.
I haven't heard of it. Afraid not.
No one ever did.
So are you new in town?
Something like that, yeah. Where are you
See.
from?
I'm from around Barovia. I travel a great deal.
You seem to be awfully cheery from someone around here.
Well, as much as I can do, I try to raise the spirits of the poor folk here, but as you can see, that can be quite a struggle at points.
It certainly can.
That is the understatement of the century. This place is drearier than... Ugh.
It's pretty bad, but... What could you tell us? We're pretty new in the area.
To Barovia or Valaki itself?
Ah, Valaki.
Well, you might want to stay clear of the Burgermeister here. His reputation is, well, he runs the town in a way that aggrieves the locals. Did you see those foul wooden, those pikes on the road in? With the
Yeah,
roofs?
I'm afraid I did.
Well, the dear old Burgermeister here, he's got it into his head that the poor town, trapped in this hellish nightmare, the only way to escape is if everyone's happy. And I admire the man's thoughts, at least, but I don't think that will save us from whatever...
Hang on, he thinks everybody's got to be happy to
Yes.
escape.
Yes, I
Escape
know.
to where?
Anywhere, I can guess.
Hmm.
But as I was saying, there's weekly festivals put on in the town. The last one was the Wolf's Head Jamboree. I think he's running short of ideas, but one thing to bear in mind as you're walking the streets here is don't talk too badly about the Burgermeister. His guards...
You're talking badly and you barely even know us.
Well, I have ways of dealing with the Burgermeister.
And what are those?
Well, he's always a fan of my shows. I do what I can to raise the spirits of the townsfolk here. He tolerates me.
Huh.
Are you the only entertainment?
I'm afraid so, yes. Apart from the festivals, but they are rather dour affairs, if I must say.
What kind of entertainment does the Burgermeister like?
But anything to forget about the dreary lives lived here, I guess.
Fair enough.
You got any plays about Strahd?
No, I wouldn't give that devil the time of day.
Well, at least you stand up to him. You're the first person we've met.
Someone
Yes.
with a backbone.
How long it will last, I can't say, but might as well enjoy it while I can, eh?
Yes. Have you ever been to the Village Morovia?
No, I was planning on stopping by there at some point.
I
in the near
wouldn't.
future.
It's awful.
No.
No, it's
Oh.
terrible. Nobody was even outside.
Just one old crone with her pies.
No, I've heard about that foul old woman. They say she stalks these streets also. Steer
Huh.
clear of her.
Was she one of the people your play was about?
No, not really. It's just an old story. Children captured by witches and eaten.
Does he seem to be being honest?
Make an insight check.
Alright, our favorite insight checks. Let's go. Let me just check my modifier. That is... Okay. Okay. 19 overall.
19. He seems to be hiding something.
Hmm.
You don't quite believe, really, that most of the things he said are... He's certainly
Entirely
hides.
accurate. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I would say it's kind of the most generous description I would give.
Alright. Well, you got any advice for us other than the Burgermeister?
Just, well, if you can help the folks of this town in any way, I'm sure that would go a long way to raising your stead, at least, with the
Are
Burgermeister.
you always here, or?
I try to travel, but I plan on staying in Valaki for a time. I'm staying down at the Blue Water Inn.
Oh. I imagine
I've
we'll
heard of that
probably end
place.
up there as well.
Yes, we may meet each other again, I'm sure of it.
I think we will.
Craig, you said that there was like an old dilapidated carnival wagon.
Yeah, it's behind him, yeah. Well, not directly behind him, but so behind him is this sort of large warehouse stockyard, but like essentially, if you've ever watched Storage Wars, looks a little bit like that, except without men bidding on them before they're being.
Craig,
Yep.
Craig, this episode. I don't know how a play works, but if you've ever watched Storage Wars,
You can see where my patron of the arts is.
Hey.
So yeah, there's this. It's parked within this stockyard, essentially.
okay.
What can you tell me about the old carnival wagon?
Ah, well, an idea I'm trying to get off the ground. I'm hoping to travel Barovia and pick up who I can to put on a show of some sorts. Would you be interested? You said you're an entertainer of sorts.
An entertainer, yes, but not in this place. It seems a little drab for me. I prefer the comedies over the tragedies.
Ah, but there may be opportunities for you here.
I'll keep you in mind.
It would do me great pleasure if you would join me. Can I have your names, fine sirs?
Well, my name's
The name's-
Godfrey.
The name's Layson Pelta.
Lovely. Well, it's been a rare pleasure to meet you and have a conversation with civilized folk for a change.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see you in the tavern later. We're probably gonna end up there.
All right, well, best of luck to you. And he begins to
Alright.
sort of pack up his little puppet tent and moves over to his cart. So, you guys, I assume you're just wanting to wait on the street whilst we jump to the other two.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to do?
We could wander to the tavern, I guess, instead of standing on the street.
Okay, so you guys, okay, I would say Irina is with you too, rather than going into the general store. So, do you still want to go to the
Oh
tavern?
no, okay. Yeah, we'll just wait. We'll head to the general store and just wait outside.
Okay, all right. So 1 second for the guys in the general store. Let me just grab that. Okay, so Nirilos and Lokai. So you guys enter this general store, and you can see that there's a few sputtering candles illuminating the dim interior. There's several practical items laid out on tables and shelves, including things like brooms and shovels, lanterns, sleeping and camping equipment, fishing gear, as well as a simple collection of produce, including rather withered-looking fruit and vegetables, a few loaves of bread and wheels of cheese. But towards the back of the store, you can see there's a long, low table, looks to be the kind of back counter of the store, and hanging above that is a stuffed raven, just on a string that kind of bounces in the wind as you enter. And behind the back counter, you can see there's a poorly looking man with messy dark hair and a goatee. He was wearing a grey linen shirt with a brown leather vest, and a small monocle dangles from a pocket on his coat. And he says, "Fair morning to yous. Welcome
Howdy.
to Arasek General."
Nice to meet you, sir. We're
Nice
just
to meet
taking a look around at your stock, if you don't mind.
Aye, browse at will. So, what would you guys like to do? Just want to sort of browse around? Anything in particular you're looking for, or
I don't know if I have anything in particular. I go up to him and I say, Do you also deal in potions and the like? Stuff for like traveling?
Oh, nothing like that. No,
Nothing like
it's
that?
more practical items. Nothing fancy, really.
Alright.
I'm looking for paper and a quill. And
Paper. All right. Just give me a moment then. And he bustles toward us through to the back of his shop. And as he does so, he calls out, How many sheets?
20.
20 sheets. All right. Give me a moment. And you can hear him kind of bustling around until he comes out with a small stack of paper clutched under one arm and a vial of ink and a quill. Was it also, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. One moment. Let me just... Okay. So as he lays it all down, he seems to total up in his head and says, All right, that'll be 55 gold pieces, please. He says with a grin.
Good day, sir.
I leave.
Hot damn. Yeah, don't mind him. He's a cheapskate. As he leaves. No, but I as I stick around, I go. Know anything about this place? We're kind of new around here. Is there anything we should know about the surroundings? Anything important?
Well, just try your best to go unnoticed is really the best advice.
Is there anything we should watch out for, anyone?
Well, there's the... Oh, I best not speak of it, actually. And he kind of quietens up.
I mean, come on.
Come on.
Master of persuasion. Come on.
Come on. What could seriously be wrong with telling, a traveler something that might,
Well, I don't really know who you are. You're coming in here wanting to know what to do, and I don't know you're not a spy for Strahd.
Do I look like I'm from here, sir? And I'm like a half
No,
orc?
and that's what's got me worried.
Look, man, I'm not trying to rustle any feathers here. Just trying to, figure out what's going on around here just as much as you are. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I've got things figured out, lass. Keep your head down.
Yeah? Anything else in the...
Well, sorry, what was that? Anything? Are you asking him?
Nah, I wasn't sure if he was going to say something. Cause he
No,
looked like
he's essentially clammed up.
All right. I said, all right, then. Have a good day.
All right, he just kind of nods quietly as you step back outside.
I
So,
walk out.
okay, so you guys all rejoin together on the streets.
Hey,
Yeah, well,
That man was a charlatan, and he should not be taking advantage of these good people.
hey, it sounds like you were talking to the same person as us.
I feel
Yeah,
like people have a lot to hide here. That guy wasn't
I
being
think
so
they're scared.
truthful. Yeah, there's something definitely that people are more worried about than telling the truth. Let's put it that way.
But hey, maybe we'll sort it out. It doesn't seem like they've got that many capable people here, and they're certainly capable.
That doesn't give me any vote of confidence. I kind of wish that there were more people to.
Oh, when I
take
said
up.
we, I meant me and Lokai.
Oh.
You might be capable, I don't know.
I just hang my head. I'm like,
All right. Either way, we should get Irina to where she needs to go.
Agreed.
Good point.
Clearly, staying out of these people's hair is probably in our best
Are
interest.
we gonna
at
find the
this
father at the church, I guess?
point. Yeah.
let's do it.
Okay, so
Did
you
the
guys
church
had...
is down that way?
Yeah, well, so Irina says, yes, it's more or less at the other end of Valaki from where we are. We'll have to walk through the whole town. So let's be off. So she begins to head along the roads and you all follow. And as you do, you pass what looks to be the main sort of town square of Valaki. You can see the homes that enclose the town square are decorated with limp, tattered garlands and painted wooden boxes filled with tiny dead flowers. At the north end of the square stands a row of stocks, and locked in the stocks looks to be a single man wearing a crude plastered donkey head. In the center of the square, peasants in patchwork clothes eye you suspiciously as they use cups and vases to draw water from a crumbling stone fountain, and you see several more coming and going, carrying bundles of twigs and sticks and dropping them off alongside a large wicker sun that looks to be partially constructed. And standing tall at the center of the fountain is the grey statue of an impressive man facing out towards the west. And you can see all around the square as well looks to be posted proclamations of some sort, or some sort of posters.
Great. Does this statue look like a wizard?
No, it looks just sort of like a nobleman. He's kind of dressed in sort of a doublet and kind of like a frilly scarf.
Okay.
I'd like to check out the posters.
Okay. So as you wander over and take a look at one of the posters, they all read the same thing, and they read, "Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Wolf's Head Jamboree. Attendants and children required, pikes will be provided. All will be well." And it's signed the Baron.
Does it say when it's happening?
No, but it looks a little bit faded. It looks like it might have been exposed to the natural elements for a little while.
I would like to go up and have a look at the man in the stocks.
Okay.
The ass?
The ass.
The ass and the
No, I
stuff.
would like to look at his face, please.
Well, it's his face is covered by this crude plaster.
Yeah, I'd go up to it. Is he alive, conscious? Like,
I mean, it's hard to tell. Make a perception check, I guess.
all right. That is a 13.
Yeah, I would say you can kind of keep an eye on him, and yeah, you can see his chest moving. He looks to be alive and breathing.
Is he like chained up? Is that what it is?
Yeah, he's in a stock, so that's like his arms and head.
Oh, yeah, the
A pillory, yeah.
Gotcha.
Stockade.
I'd go up to him. If I approach him, do people start giving me weird looks?
Most of the people coming and going from the town square are giving all of you strange
I was
looks.
gonna say we kind of probably look weird
Well,
already.
they're not like directly malicious looks. They're just more looks of curiosity. You seem to be a bit of a novelty in the town, I would say.
Big half orc, tiny gnome, kind of weird.
Yes. But Godfrey, are you wanting to get close enough to essentially talk to the
Yeah,
guy?
definitely.
Okay, so yeah, you get close enough and you can say whatever you'd like to.
I say, hey, what did you do?
Who's there? Who's that?
It's a friend. How's it going?
Is that you, Jodard?
No, it's not Jodard.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm just a traveler. I was interested.
Interested in what?
Well, what did you do?
None of your business.
I mean, I can help you, maybe, if you tell me.
Oh, I don't want help. Just leave me here.
Alright. Well, have fun with that.
Alright, so you just leave that man to the stocks.
I will leave the ass in the stocks, yes.
Alright, okay. Okay, so yeah, you guys are all back together on the square. What would you like to do?
I look at Godfrey like that went well.
Yeah, he was really receptive. Great conversationalist.
Most people in this town seem to be just equally as receptive as that man.
Yeah, I
Yes,
kind of
not
wonder
many-
what's going on.
Even the criminals here don't mind their strange, sad situation. Quite strange.
Yeah, it's very odd. I mean, I just offered to help him, and he had no interest.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't like this place. Let's hurry up.
Maybe talking to people is a bad idea. I'm not sure.
Somehow it's creepier than outside the walls.
Okay.
Alright.
So you guys head a little bit further along the road and towards the church. Okay. So as you pass further along the roads of the street, you can see there does seem to be the inn off to a little bit down one of the streets, a little bit further away from you that you can see. Are you wanting to go to it now, or are you wanting to just push essentially further along to the church?
I think we're going to the church.
The church first, yeah? Okay. One moment.
Dry-throated, I will go to the church.
Okay. So you all walk towards the church, and eventually, at the far end of town, you arrive alongside it. And you can see this slouching, centuries-old stone church has a bulging steeple in the back and walls lined with cracked stained glass, windows depicting pious saints of various natures. A fence of wrought iron encloses a garden of gravestones next to the church, and a thin mist creeps among the graves. And as you approach, you can see a congregation of solemn-looking Barovians are leaving, and a figure in grey robes is offering words to each of them as they pass by.
What was
I
that?
look to sorry, I smacked my
Oh,
Oh dear.
mic. My bad. I look to Irina and I goes, "This is a place, I assume."
Yes, this is the church.
All right, who are we looking for again?
It's Father Lucian Petrovich. I met him once before, many years ago. I don't know if you'll remember me.
Is that man in the clothes him?
It looks to be him, but it's been a few years.
All right,
Let's say hi.
Okay. So you guys get a little bit closer, and as you do, it looks to be the last of the congregation is leaving. And you can see that what looks to be the priest is dressed in a moth-eaten and faded set of grey robes, and the peeling image of a sun branded into it. And it's the same sort of sun that was branded into Father Donovich's robes from the Village of Barovia. And you can see as well, he has a simple belt of rope tied around his waist. He looks to be very skinny, to the point of looking almost malnourished, and his eyes have a hollow look to them. His close-cropped hair and scruffy beard have both turned to white. And as you approach, he looks up and makes eye contact with Irina, and as he does, his eyes go wide and he says, "Irina, I haven't seen you for years. What brings you to Valaki? Come closer, yes." And as she does, she says, "Father Lucian, it is good to see you." And she claps him on the shoulder and says, "I'm afraid we bring sad tidings. Can we talk in private, please?" And he said, Yes. Are they with you?" And he points to all of you shuffling around the back, and she says, "Yes, they're with me. Let's head inside." He's going to lead you all into the church, and I assume you all follow. No one's wanting to do anything else.
Yeah, I'd go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So, leading you inside, and you can see the layout of this church again is near identical to the chapel of the village of Barovia, although this one looks to be in much better repair. So it's a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall that leads to a brightly lit chapel at the far end. The hall itself is well lit with 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, leading to an adjacent chamber. But there's no scream or anything like that of anyone below this time. You can see the main chapel itself has several pews laid out in neat rows, along with a small altar at one end, and candles fixed in sconces to the wall give off an orange glow, illuminating the interior. And you can see as well there's a faded boy a young boy in faded vestments. That's a weird one, eh? A young boy in faded vestments at the far end of the chapel sweeping up. But the priest keeps you all more in the hall away from the young man, and he says, "Well, Irina, how can I help?" And Irina essentially launches into a recount of events pretty much since you've met her. And is Mark asking you to help escort Irina to Valaki, and then burying the body of her father, and the appearance of Strahd, and Strahd taking poor old Ismark with him, and then a brief recount of your travel here until she explains that she arrived here. And at the end of it, the priest says, "Well, my condolences to you, but how can I help you, Irina? I'm just a simple priest." And she says to him, "Well, sanctuary, most of all, Father. I'm not sure what to do, and I would like some time to, gather my thoughts at least. These fine folk got me here. I'm not sure what the next plan of action will be, but I appreciate their help nonetheless." And the priest turns to all of you and says, "Yes, very kind of you to do so. If I may, who are you?"
Visitors.
Yeah, something like that.
I see.
My name is Layson.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Elusive bunch, aren't you?
Well, my name's
Definitely not
Godfrey.
from these parts.
I'll tell my name as well.
Okay, all right. So introduction is blah blah blah. So yeah, his name is Father Lucian Petrovich. In case I didn't say that. So Irina sort of stands behind the priest, and he says to you, all of you, "Well, your arrival might actually be fortuitous."
And why is that?
You see, this church used to be a safe haven for the fine people who lived here. The creatures of the night sometimes stalk the street, and indeed my congregation often overnights from the very walls, or within the very walls here for that reason. In particular, there's a problem with Vampiric Spawn, and the foul menace of Strahd. They're said to walk the streets at night. But
Here?
yes, in the streets of the town itself.
And you guys thought that this place would be safer?
Well, the folk place a lot of stock in the walls of the church, and, well, originally for good reason. The set of bones, used to be in the chapel, buried deep beneath it, and I believe they brought some comfort, although most people didn't know about their existence, but I'm afraid they've been stolen.
Bones? Like...
Yes, of St. Aldrich himself. Not St. Aldrich, St. Andrew.
Uh-huh, and they've been stolen.
Yes.
And I assume you would like us to get them back.
If it's no trouble, I believe that they protect the church in some way.
Do you have an idea where they are? Can't really get them back if we don't know anything about them.
Well, the people didn't really know about them. In fact, the only person I did mention their existence to was the altar boy over there, Jeska. He joined me a few years ago after he was orphaned, and a month or two ago, he was quite upset, afraid, and I offered what comfort I could, and I divulged the existence of the bones to him. He's the only one who knew of their existence, bar myself.
And they suddenly disappeared.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was him.
Yes, I did ask Jeska if he told anyone, but he nodded, but he wouldn't divulge a name to me, and I'm reluctant to press the issue. I don't want to cause distress or worry the townsfolk.
I think we're missing the really important question here. Vampiric Spawn?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What?
Layson, you have such a way with words.
I'm short and to the point. I've heard of vampires in the very minimal like folklore, but what are vampiric spawn?
They are foul creatures created by Strahd himself. They do his bidding, and they are terrible.
And are these... You said they're within the walls. They come out at night. Are these people during the day? Do they have some sort of underground base?
They spawn all the time.
I can't say. I don't know the how they work.
But this is well understood knowledge in this area.
Yeah, like Danovich's son.
Yeah, Donovich's son was a spawn.
Yeah, he's locked under. He's having a great
He just
time.
kept him in the basement where it's dark.
Well, I meant this town specifically. Essentially what I'm asking is, why hasn't the town's militia done anything about it?
Well,
I assume because they're ginormous monstrous spawn, and the militia are not.
Calm down. The man in the basement wasn't a giant monster that we know of.
He sounded like it.
Didn't sound very promising.
We'll try to help, but I just that doesn't sound fun to me.
Being here doesn't sound fun at all in general.
True, and that's why I want to, expedite the process the best I can. But this is
maybe the bones will help against the spawn.
Yes, I would. I know it sounds silly, but they bring so much comfort to me, and I believe that in some way they protect the church.
Well, at the very least, until we have any other concrete evidence as to what to look for to get back, we might as well at least make ourselves useful while we're here, right?
And if these bones do indeed do some type of safe haven, then that's awesome with me.
Yeah, we should go talk to, was it Jeska?
It's Jeska. He's further down in the chapel, and you can see that the altar boy is still sort of sweeping up and cleaning up after the ceremony.
All right. Well, maybe one or two of us should go talk to him. It might be a little scary if all of us go.
Magic Man, do you have some sort
Are
of...
you referring to me, Godfrey?
I might have been. I was talking about the group at large.
Yeah,
And
At
you are the largest person in the group, so yes.
I would say that Godfrey would be the best choice. Maybe followed by Layson, but he speaks strangely.
Yeah, Godfrey's like a father figure.
What?
Maybe a
That's not
grandfather figure.
where I was going.
I'm not
but
that old. You're
My-
just very
my thought-
young.
My thought was actually that both of you, well, you apparently, but Godfrey definitely has some sort of mystical ability. And I was wondering if you had some way of getting the information, regardless of what the person said.
I mean,
Not,
I'm not quite sure what you're asking me to do there, but
no, I'm wondering if, like, you had know any spells that
I know a few spells, yes.
remember
surprisingly.
things or things like that.
I can't read people's minds if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
We'll leave it up to you two. How's that? You guys can figure out how to get the info.
All right.
I have a seat on a pew, and I just kind of like.
Okay, slouch back. So is it Layson and Godfrey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
You
The
guys-
dynamic duo.
Dynamic duo. Okay. So as you, I should say as well, Father. Oh my goodness, I can't remember their names. They're all
Petrovich.
Petrovich.
Lucian Petrovich. Sorry. So you can see Petrovich and Irina continue to talk quietly at the back of the church as you move a little bit further into it. So yeah, you get a little bit closer to the altar boy, and he seems to be wearing these kind of white vestments, but you can say they've long faded from white to what looks to be a dull grey with several smudges and stains. His hair is cut close to his scalp, and his face is fixed into a worried expression as you get closer, and he grasps the small broom in his hands as you approach.
All right.
Good morning.
He just kind of looks at you with a worried expression still.
What seems to be the matter? You seem a little tense.
Nothing's the matter.
Now, Yesker, my name's Godfrey, and that's my friend Layson. I think you know what we're here to talk to you about.
Yes.
He's talking like a dad.
All right. So, the bones. Who'd you tell about them?
And make a persuasion check.
All right.
Can I act?
Yeah, you can have advantage. on that.
Okay, good, because that was a 9. Okay, that's much better. That's what do I have as a? That's a 17 overall.
17 overall. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. So as you say that, the worried expression sort of leaves his face a bit, and he seems to relax and says, "Told Milivoj.
Who?
Milivoj."
God, I hate the names here. Jeez.
You're telling me, mate. Trust me. That's spelled Milivoj.
All
I
right.
think that's how you pronounce that. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, but I told Milivoj about them.
All right. Well,
He
that was
He
nice.
bullies me.
He bullies you.
Yeah.
He bullies you. That's unbelievable. Oh.
He bullies
How
an
does
altar
how
boy.
does he bully you?
Well, he pushes me and shoves me. We both work here in the church.
Oh.
He digs the graves for Petrovich, and I just sweep up in here.
Well,
Is he a
seeing
child
as-
too, or is he a
He's
man?
bigger than me.
How big is he?
He's bigger than you.
All right. compared to Layson, how big is he?
Mm. He's just a little bit smaller than your
Sounds
friend.
like he's an older boy. Well, I mean, where is he here right now?
He's normally out the back digging graves and fixing the grounds.
Hey, Layson, what's your moral compass like when it comes to bullying kids? When it comes to preventing other kids being bullied?
I've always told my kids to fight back.
Good. All right. Well, seeing as you were so helpful with this, Yeska, we can go and see your friend Milivoj, and he's not gonna bully you anymore.
He's got a shovel.
I've got way worse things than a shovel. Trust me. And he's got a crossbow. He's not gonna use that though. Maybe.
No, I wouldn't.
Depends where that shovel goes.
Okay. He just kind of nods mutely to you as you kind of back off.
All right.
So,
Should we go out the back?
Well, I thought we were, grab the party or talk to the Father Petrovich.
Just gonna beat up this kid.
Yeah, well, of course you were.
Hey, you go beat up that kid by yourself. See what happens.
That's easy. He's got a shovel, mate. Easy. I've got a dagger.
Shank him.
Episode 3 and I'm shanking kids. Jeez.
Oh boy.
Alright.
You have to use gnomish fury of the small.
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't get that. It's disgraceful. Alright.
Yeah.
Should we get the party then?
Yeah.
Alright.
Makes sense to me.
This kid.
Well, we have to go talk to him anyway, because that's who whatever said he told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he told someone else.
Well,
This
I'm
might
not
be
there. I
a
don't
wild
do that
goose
yet.
chase, but let's collect the
Well, it's
party.
the only
together.
goose we've got. Yeah, I'll go back to the party. Like, hey, Lokai, we gotta go anti-bully a kid.
Alright. I get up.
Okay. So you all get up, and I assume you're making your way towards what would be the grounds of the church. So you're heading back out the front door. So as you do, you pass the priest and Irina, and they're still kind of in conversation. As you do, Irina sort of puts her hand out and says, "My friends, thank you so much for getting me here. What are your plans now?"
Well, apparently we're gonna grab some bones.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna try to help Petrovich with his retrieval of his sacred bones.
And I thank you for that. I greatly appreciate it. And she says, I'm going to stay here for a little while in the church and help out where I can. Maybe find a job in the town. I'm at least far away from Strahd's gaze here, I hope. I wish you the best of luck. And should you need to find me again, I imagine you'll find me here. But thank you so much for all you've done.
Do
That's
you
all right.
perchance have a second key to your manor?
I believe Ismark had the second one.
Awkward.
Fuck.
Really?
Take care of yourself.
Carlos.
Yeah, stay safe, Irina. We'll, if you need anything, just let us know.
All right, will you be in the town a while then? I imagine.
Well, we'll be around.
If
but
we're
I'm
leaving, we'll come tell you.
All right, well, best of luck and thank you so much. Thank you. She kind of nods at you all as you pass by, and you all head back outside into the church. And are you making your way towards, or just look around the
Yeah,
cemetery? I guess,
can we
for-
see Milovaj?
Yes.
So,
you
so
can.
as we're walking around,
Huh?
Larolos would say, "Well, I was just, if we happen to be back in Barovia, that place was relatively safe. So I thought, I thought it would."
Oh yeah, I mean it is safe. You're right, but we can just break in. Oh my God.
I just like pat him on the back and just shake my head. Man, oh man.
That was awkward. That was really awkward. Oh man.
Oh well, she's here now.
Yeah, she's safe. That helps.
All right, what is it you want us to do there, Godfrey and Lacey?
This kid knows about the bones. The Yeska told him. So I'm imagining he probably told someone else, or he sold them, or ate them, or made them into a skeleton, whatever they do here. I don't know, but yeah, we gotta go talk to him, find out.
No, but what's this part about the not?
Oh, don't
bullying
worry about
thing?
that. I'll handle that. That's just a footnote.
Okay.
Okay, move on.
Okay. So looking around the grounds of the church, you can see, there is a young boy. Well, he's not that young actually. He looks to be a teenager. Looks to be digging a grave at the far end of the graveyard. So you're wanting to make your way towards him, yeah?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so as you get closer, you can see he's definitely got quite a brawny build, and you can see his dark hair is plastered to his forehead with sweat as he's sort of essentially digging a grave and
How
shoveling
old does
it.
he look like?
Probably about between 14 and 16,
Okay.
roughly.
Perfect age to bully.
He's wearing a simple grey shirt and mud-covered trousers and boots, and as he turns to look at you all as you approach, there seems to be a frown in his face as he turns back to digging his grave. Well, it's not his grave, but a grave.
Oh, it will be.
Well, maybe.
It might be.
I would like to cast Scorching Ray.
Yikes. Gosh.
Don't bully! Just blow him in half. See ya.
An eye for an eye, as they say.
You shove Yeska, you die.
All right, Godfrey, you're up.
I will walk up and go, hey!
Aye. He kind of looks at you and turns back to his digging.
We heard that, you know about some bones that have gone missing recently.
As he continues digging, he says, "Nope."
I don't think that's entirely truthful.
Who are you to ask questions? Bugger off.
I'm called Godfrey, and these are my friends. And we need to know about those bones, because you're putting people in danger.
Don't know anything about no bones. Going to dig up a grave? There's plenty around.
All right, I walk up to him. I put his hand on his shoulder and I like spin him around. Like I know he's like busy digging, so I like move him and I'm like, "Look, kid, we don't got a lot of time. You're gonna answer our questions and you're gonna tell us where those bones are, or else we might find a few more bones lying around later."
Oh,
yeah, you mess
good
with
line.
the small guy,
Fucking
you get
spooky.
the low guy.
How long have you been holding on to that one?
that's some branding right there. Make an intimidation check for that one, Lokai. And you can have advantage, actually. There's a whole fucking party of you around this poor boy.
I got 12.
12.
I actually didn't roll that well.
All right, okay.
What a surprise.
He says, "All right, I stole the bones, moldy old things. What does it matter?
Why?
Where are they?
I don't have them anymore.
Actually, where are they? Yeah.
I came to that coffin maker, Vanderhoot.
Ah.
A coffin in town, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Why did you steal them?
he paid me to do it.
Huh.
Well then.
All right, well, I guess we got to go talk to him next.
One more thing, and I look at the kid, and I go, "What's Vreska? That's his name, right?"
Yeska.
Yeska. I'm like, "You know that kid Yeska?
Yeah.
You're gonna leave him alone from now on."
He kind of grasps his shoulder, and you can see for a brief moment he thinks about potentially swinging it at you, but
As I see that, I'm going to go, "Hey, yeah, Milivaj, interesting note about that, actually. You know, yeah, because word around is you've been pretty rough with him. I got something to show you." I'm going to rummage in my robe for a second. And as I pull my hand out, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion and create the image of Milivaj's severed head in my hands.
oh my god.
Oh
There you go.
shit!
Hey, look, it's your severed head. Crazy. Good thing you got two.
Ow.
At this, he kind of looks down at the and he drops the shovel in his hand, and his eyes go wide, and he goes, "Mom,
Well,
And
guess you don't need this one, and I'm gonna chuck it over the fence. As it gets like 30 feet away.
Good people.
As it gets like
Alright,
30
so-
feet away from me, it'll like vanish.
Yeah, so I basically look at him. I'm like, "You're leaving him alone, right?"
Well, he's bolted.
Oh, he's gone.
Alright, come
I,
on. What's the use in knowing a little magic if you can't have fun with it?
I cast Prestidigitation to make my voice very loud, and I go, "Don't bully people!"
Anti-bully squad, let's go.
Do you think
Fair
maybe we were a little too rough with him?
No, that kid was a dick.
All right. I mean, he did kind of tell us to bugger off. He kind of
Yeah,
deserved
he's
it.
gonna hit you. Come on.
I would have liked to have seen him try.
He's fine. He's unharmed.
Mentally, he
Well,
might be quite harmed.
he lives here. He'll get over it. He probably seen that like 5 times this week. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
At the very least, that Vreska kid will get a little bit of, peace.
Yeah.
Sounds
Poor
like we
kid.
need to go.
we need to go find that
Find a
grave
coffin maker.
coffin maker. Yeah.
Vander something. Vander Root?
Hoot.
Vander Hoot. Hoot.
Who?
Hoort. Vander Hoot.
Port.
Peter Hoot.
Hoot. I'll get it one day. Okay, and we're back. So we just left the party there as they finished bullying a teenage boy by showing him his own severed head. And so we rejoin you all outside the front of the church. And what would you like to do?
Can
Put it
we
that way.
see any sign for Vander Hoot, the coffin maker?
Not on the road here. There's just a few people kind of milling around on the streets.
Probably
We could,
after-
yeah.
Just saying.
I call out to the closest person, unless they're like 100 yards away or something real.
No, there's a commoner close enough.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Looking for a coffin maker, a Vanderhort.
Oh, down the road, next right, you'll see him. He just kind of continues to walk along the road.
Thank you.
He doesn't say anything back. He just keeps walking.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so you guys begin to follow the directions and make your way there. However, along the way, you can see there's a small gathering of Barovians at one side of the road talking to each other, but one of them catches your eye. Looks to be a handsome young man with neat dark hair and what looks to be quite noble features. He seems to be very well dressed.
Is it Strahd?
No, it's not Strahd.
Okay.
And he does look much better dressed, and the people he's talking to seem to be paying attention to what he's listening to, and he claps them on the shoulder as he catches sight of you, and he waves goodbye to them, and he begins to make his way over to you guys. And you can see he's wearing the sort of long red coat with gold embroidery, and it looks to be well-tailored dark trousers and polished black boots, and his movements and sort of his habits give the appearance of someone clearly of noble stock. And as he approaches, he says, "Ah, you must be the new people who just entered Valaki. I'm so pleased to meet you. Let me introduce myself. I am Vasily von Holtz."
Could you spell that for me?
I certainly can, John. It is VASILI VONHOLTZ.
I suppose word travels fast in this.
Yes,
area.
There's not a lot of news that comes into the town here, and new people are always of interest to me.
And I suppose you're the Burgermeister.
Oh, no. Far from it. I'm just a local noble who lives here, but I keep my eyes on the poor people of the town and do what I can to make their lives better. My meager wealth allows me some luxury. And I try to...
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what do you do exactly?
Well, like I say, I talk to the people and I raise what funds I can to make sure they're fed and clothed at least.
And forgive me the slightly odd question, but how are you wealthier around here? It doesn't seem like the most thriving industry.
My family line is long, and we've had stakes all across Barovia. There is a lot of coin put away, but we're getting off the topic. I've come to you to search you out for my own selfish reasons, I'm afraid. If I could beseech your help for a moment.
How large of a moment?
It is not a small undertaking, but I am at a loss for who to turn to.
How do you know we can be of use to you? You don't even know who we are.
But new people in town, you're clearly of noble heart, and I would ask for your aid if you could spare it.
Thinking back to how we just bullied a teenager.
Yeah, that's a bit of an assumption.
But,
Well, what would you like us to do first, I guess?
Well, I'm afraid one of the families in Valaki is in some trouble. It seems that they've fallen prey to a foul addiction of sorts. An addiction to some strange pies.
Oh! Yeah, we know about those.
Yes, they're a common sight. And, well, I'm sad to say that during their most recent stupor, it appears that their children have gone missing. I would ask if you could help find those missing children.
I look directly at Godfrey. Do you think?
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Where do you think the children have gone? Or do you know?
I don't know. That's why I've come to you. Please, I would ask the local guard for aid, but they are an apathetic sort.
And just to be sure, I assume you've already questioned the parents. They know nothing.
No, I have not begun. I don't know how to handle something of this nature. That's why I've come to you.
Well,
Shall we put it in a queue?
Sure. I mean, I think that Layson and I might have an idea of what's going on.
At least somewhere to look.
Yeah.
What you guys want to do?
Well, we might need some
Well,
help.
what I'm asking is, should we finish our first errand before we're doing this one? Or I mean, this one does seem potentially quite urgent.
Yeah, I mean, missing children seems a little bit more important than missing bones, if you ask me.
The bones will still be there. Hopefully.
Yeah.
The children might have...
Even if they're not, it's pretty much superstitious nonsense from what we can tell.
I mean, worst case scenario, we go over to the coffin maker, see if we can't find the bones. If we can't or can, then we go on to see their parents or whatever and see what's going on there. We can do both, really. We got enough time.
Sure.
If you're not the children.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem, right? And like
Well,
I
the thing
say,
is
Lacey and I might have a clue of where to go.
Well, the thing is with the bones, too, like, if they're still, I want to say freshly stolen, but if they're still in the city, we might be able to track them. If we wait too long, they might be gone. Is my concern, but
which is more important, children or bones?
technically, bones protect the chapel, allegedly, so...
Well, we don't really know
Allegedly, yeah. That'd be some pretty weird magic.
Yeah, but these children are also allegedly gone.
But I
We
mean,
also
like,
don't know that
the
either.
children
They
aren't
could just
here.
be at home, yeah, I guess. It's an odd
Well,
argument.
guy, how about you go check the houses for the children? We'll go... No, I'm kidding. We should...
Up to you, I'm just...
Morally, I think we should help the children first.
I would say the children might be a little bit more urgent, but I do also see the point about if the bones are fresh. We should have asked when were the bones stolen. It was like last week, actually, right?
I think
he said last week.
Yeah, I think he did
Jeska
say
was distraught.
a couple days. Well, Jeska was. Petrovich said that Jeska was distraught about several months ago, just a particular night, and Father Petrovich comforted him with the knowledge of the bone.
Okay.
And it was a few days ago that the bones went missing.
You can move bones very far in a few days.
So it's up to you guys. I'm just laying it out there for you so we know what's what.
I think we gotta go after the children. If something happens to them while we're looking for a pile of bones, we're probably not really gonna get that one off the conscience.
My conscience is pretty clear, so I'd like to keep it that way.
Fair enough.
I didn't just, anger or scare a child to death, but we'll continue.
So
It was good for him.
we know where the pies are from. Irena told us about that old bone grinder place. And we know now that the parents are getting addicted to these pies. And the children are
Can
going
we
missing.
go to the house, see if we can't at
Yeah.
least see if there's anything, clues as to what may have happened?
Yeah,
like
sure.
maybe the parents.
Do we know where the
I
house
mean,
is?
yeah, sure, we can go look at the bone grinder place, but I'd rather make sure before we take off.
All right.
To answer your question, yes, we will help you.
You can see relief washes over his face as you say so, and he says, "Thank you. I'm so grateful."
This is
Truly.
a minor point, but I'm just wondering, is there any reward for helping? Like, definitely children's lives, very important, will help regardless. Just wondering. As a nobleman.
I have nothing really to give you. All my spare wealth I dole out to the people. I can see about raising some funds for you, but it will not be much. But surely the reward of a good deed does not require any monetary or material wealth.
Totally get it.
All right.
What the heck was
Sorry,
that?
I accidentally hit my beep button. I was coughing and aimed for my cough button and I accidentally hit my beep button.
I legitimately thought Craig cursed.
No, I can
Connor was so
I
quick
have a
with his
button that
reaction.
does this, which is pretty bad. The
Oh,
misclick.
Right, okay.
Oh
man, that
was perfect.
Nice. Okay. Okay. So, Vasily leads you through the streets of Valaki, and I assume you're all following. He's leading you to the house.
Yes.
Okay. So as he is walking through the street, several of the locals call out to him to wish him a good day or thank him for some sort of service. They come up and clap him on the shoulder or shake his hand, and you get the impression that he is well regarded in Valaki by many, until eventually he arrives at the front of one of the many homesteads in the town and leads you to the front door. And he says, I think it would be best if I took my leave here. I will let you get to work without me looking over your shoulder. I don't want to put my foot in it. I'm sure the last thing you need is that.
All right, we'll report to you when we're done, or at least find something.
Yes.
Where exactly should we find you?
If you ask the locals, they will surely direct you to my manor house, but you'll generally find me walking the streets, and I'm sure that our paths will cross again, and I wish you the best of luck. And with that, he begins to step off.
All right.
All right, let's get on with this.
In we go, I guess.
I knock at the door if there's a door.
Yeah, he's led you to the front door of this house, and you knock, but there doesn't seem to be an answer.
I try the handle to see if the door would open.
Okay. Yeah, you turn the handle in, and it is open, and it opens quietly with a creak of anguish as the interior of the house is revealed to you. Yeah, so the inside is a mess of what looks to be mostly broken furniture and discarded rubbish. No candles or lamps are present. The only source of light seems to be from the smudged over glass of some of the windows and the open door. A stone hearth lies in one side of the room, and the occupants that you can see look to be a thin woman lying curled up in the corner of the room, and a man spread out in a simple wooden chair, but both of them look to be asleep in some way. The only noticeable item in the room is a small table on which 3 large pies are laid out.
Oh boy.
Are there any slices, like, missing from the pies? Or?
No, the 3 there, they look to be untouched as of yet, but there is, like, white cloth.
Is there a pie plate?
Well, there's not plates. These people don't seem to be wealthy enough to own plates, but there is these sort of swatches of cloth where the pies may have been bundled up in, and there are several empty swatches.
Seems like these people are deep within their whatever you want to call this.
I mean, I would just call it pie addiction, but it sounds kind of funny, right?
It's exactly what it is.
Be careful,
Would you
though.
say
These
they're getting pies?
Oh my!
That was awful.
That was truly terrible, Narlos.
Well, you know.
We've been in Barovia for a few days, and that was the worst thing that's happened. But
Jeez.
We do have to be careful. These pies have powerful effects. I don't know what state somebody who's eaten one will be in.
Well, on the bright side, they're probably going to be out for a while, so we might as well at least take a look around, see if we can't find any clues to where the kids might be.
That sounds like a plan.
I'd like to start in the room that they're sleeping, if that makes any sense. Okay. Other than the pies.
Yeah,
I'll keep an eye on the couple while you guys do that.
Okay. All right. So, well, the room itself, the house itself, I should say, rather, it's just seemingly one large room, and it is almost entirely bare of any sort of furniture. There's a few empty cabinets that you open and find nothing inside, but there's no upper floor or other adjacent rooms to the home. It just looks to be this sort of single room, and looking through, you don't find anything of value apart from the table with the pies and a simple wooden chair are the only furnitures in the room.
Given what Godfrey's kind of said about some of the magic in these pies, it seems like it might be okay, but also not to try to wake these people. Like if we wake them, maybe they'll be through withdraw or something. Like they'll just be ornery and angry. I'd be cautious to wake people.
I mean, we're not in danger, I doubt, by waking them, but we don't want to cause unnecessary trauma.
They probably don't even know anything of use anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, I believe he did say that they were knocked out when this happened.
Yeah. Whatever is going on here, it's pretty sinister.
Is there anything that would like kids stuff or like anything that belonged to a kid in here?
Any PlayStation or something like that?
No, nothing like that. No.
Oh, only an
That's
Xbox,
not
only the
No.
original
A
one.
book of
Oh,
Fortnite tips and tricks or something like
There's
that.
just a kid flossing in the corner.
How to do the orange justice. Oof.
There's no like hatches to a basement or anything either.
No, looking around, it's just this simple large room seemed to be what makes up
Kind
this
of
whole thing.
bizarre that there's no.
Well, the parents
Like-
could have knocked themselves out, and the kids ran away, took the opportunity.
But
I
it's
just don't find
strange, right?
It's a little
Yeah, like there's no
strange.
sign of any kid living here.
Well,
like,
this
maybe-
is not a, nice place. They don't even have plates. Who say they're gonna have toys or anything?
Yes, but
That begs my next question. What should we do with the rest of the pies?
Oh, destroy them easily.
Yeah. I mean, they don't
Aren't they
seem
just
to
gonna go
bring
buy
any
more?
good.
I didn't want to jump to that conclusion, but yeah. I just like mash a pie into the ground and
you set on fire.
I put my hand in a pie and cast Shocking Grasp and see what happens.
Oh my gosh.
Exploding pie.
What is it? Is it lightning damage?
It's lightning.
Yeah. I don't know if a pie would explode if you put like.
Then I cast it again.
It would be like wouldn't it be like kind of like a microwave? It would just get like really hot.
Okay,
and-
all right, okay. Godfrey, after several shocking grasps into one of the pies, it begins to quiver and shake, and you see the pastry extend and blister before, with a satisfying pop, it explodes.
Excellent.
And Layson, did you say you were just mashing one up, just like stomping it?
yeah, I was gonna just mash it.
So
into
yeah,
the ground.
you mash it into the ground quite capably.
Realize we probably could have like taken them elsewhere to smash them, so because they're probably just gonna eat them anyway.
They have to eat the whole pie.
Good luck eating my one. It's not like it's on the ceiling. They're gonna have to stand on the table.
Anyway, we should try to go find those kids, I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
The only place I can think is the.
Well, we might be able to ask any of the locals if they've seen any crones around or anything.
Well, you guys should have watched the puppet show.
It was fabulous.
It was kinda about crones, cooking children.
Right, but how does
What?
that help us?
Well, we got missing children.
The
So
story is eerily similar to what's going on.
Yeah.
Did your puppet show
Oh.
tell you where they might be?
No, but Irina said the pies come from old Bone Grinder,
Yeah.
And a bunch of crones live there.
and crones live there, and we've met somebody who could be described, if you were mean-spirited, as a crone, selling
She definitely
pies.
has magical pies.
What you're saying is you want us to go to the bone grinder so we can go see some crones about these pies.
No, what I'm saying is I think the pies are children.
Oh god! Oh my god! I didn't think of that.
I did.
I did, but I mean,
It's totally green.
Why didn't I think of that?
The pies are children.
Carrying them out.
So
hey, but still, doesn't that mean we still gotta go to this place to see if those kids that were stolen are still alive?
yeah,
Absolutely.
there might be more. I mean,
It could be more than just the few that have gone missing
Or
recently.
it could just be all a farce. But I mean, hey, let's.
If it's all a farce, at least we know that, right? It's information we can use to further ourselves.
just be careful. These are powerful mages.
Hey, DM Overlord. What time does it appear to be?
It looks to be about late afternoon now. You guys arrived into Valaki around noon, and looks to be getting a little. Well, it's not quite sunset yet, but it's getting dark.
So what you're saying is we should
Once we
probably.
leave, we're not going to get back in time.
Yeah, we should probably rest up for the night and leave tomorrow morning because the guy said we won't be able to get back in once we're out.
I just hope the kids can survive that long.
I think we just accept that we can't get back in, and hope for the best. Wait, how far away roughly is the boneyard?
Bone Grinder is probably about 3, maybe 4 hours away, roughly. So you would probably arrive
At night.
well after dark. You would probably have to travel for an hour or two in pitch blackness.
I don't like that.
That doesn't sound great here. Although maybe less things being able to see us is a good thing.
This is Barovia. I'm sure weird shit probably loves the dark here.
Yeah, you got a point. All right, we should probably rest up and go there in the morning.
Lokai offered told me that we could get a drink, so
Guess I did.
Yeah.
that might be our best bet to start with. Maybe we can gather more information at the tavern.
We won't be any use to anybody if we die on the way there anyway, right?
Well, if we're not going tonight, we should at least follow up on the bone situation and check out the
coffin maker.
Coffin
Thank you. I can only think of box.
The box.
The box
dead
man.
boy box.
The dead box man, yes.
Yeah, I mean that's actually fair. We can do that while we're waiting for nighttime.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All
Let
right.
us
All right.
make our
I
way.
close the door to the house of people doing nothing.
So we basically walked in, exploded some unconscious junkies' pies, and left.
We had to get rid of the stash.
Oh my gosh. Terrible day.
Oh my god, the mom and the dad are gonna wake up, fight over the one remaining pie, and it's gonna be awful.
We've tore apart a family. That was Milivonch's parents.
All right. So I do I know the way from?
Yeah, you guys, you
Travel.
would know how to get to the coffin makers from where you are.
Yeah, we did ask for directions.
So is that what
We
you like
travel
to do?
that direction.
Yeah.
Okay. So you travel, passing through the streets of Valaki until, following the directions, you arrive at what looks to be quite an uninviting shop. It's 2 stories tall and has a sign shaped like a coffin above the front door, and all of the window shutters are closed up tight, and a deathly silence surrounds the establishment.
Looks promising.
Looks like this guy really fits the motif here.
Well, I say we just go in.
I go to the door and is it open? Like, can I knock on it? I
Okay,
mean, I
so
don't know if the store itself is open, but
Okay, so you turn the handle, the door doesn't open, and then do you knock?
yeah.
Okay. So after knocking on the door for a little bit, you hear a voice call out, "We're closed! Go away!"
I got a question for you.
I said, "Go away! Leave me alone!"
Well, we
No.
know he's in there. And
We've been sent by Petrovich.
There's no answer.
yeah, break the door down.
I mean,
Which
you really want to start shit?
He is theoretically impeding an investigation. I know technically we're not sanctioned for
We're
this.
not exactly
by-
the law here.
Daru,
Right,
I mean,
right,
Nirolos
right.
is right.
Hey, I am technically still a bounty. Well,
I don't
You
think
know,
that we
I'll
can
allow them.
start kicking doors in.
Is there a window nearby, Craig?
Yeah, but they
You're
are.
not throwing
they're
me through a
closed.
window again. We tried that before.
They're closed. There's sort of iron lattice work covering the windows, and
Can I
shutters closed from behind.
try to hit the door open?
Yeah, sure. Make a strength check.
Make an check.
Roll
Yeah.
to
roll to grunt.
Roll to grunt. 14.
14. Okay, so after a few charges into the door, during which you really think you bruise your shoulder, you
Yeah.
hear a resounding crunch as what sounds like a bar of wood. Sorry, not a bar of door. A bar of wood that was placed in front of the door cracks and splits open, and the door swings open with you sort of still charging through. And as you do, you find yourself in one moment. Looks to be a simple L-shaped room, and there's a number of open coffins laid out on the floor or resting against the wall. There's 3 doors to the south end of the room that seem to lead to adjacent chambers, but you can see there's also an older man with long grey hair brushed back and a thick beard. His face is lined with wrinkles, and there's a fearful expression on his face now as you've just kind of broken through his door. And he wears simple, commoner clothes with a long leather apron tied across his front. And you can see in the pouch of the apron are several, what looks to be carpenter's tools. You can probably guess this is the coffin maker. And he says, "What the bloody hell do you want? That's me door!"
I told you we had some questions.
Luckily, you're a pretty good carpenter, it seems, so you can fix your own door when we're done.
I make coffins, not doors.
I mean, coffins have lids. They're very similar.
Yeah.
Oh, if he just would have answered our questions, he wouldn't have had to do that.
You didn't ask any questions.
You didn't open the
you didn't
door.
open the door.
My door.
Whatever. Now that we've been acquainted, we have been given information that you have acquired a set of bones recently that we need back.
I don't know anything about bones.
I'm just gonna look at Lokai.
I kind of like saunter up to him and I'm like, "Look, sir, you seen me just bash through that door."
Oh, all right. I took them. Why? Aunt Milivosh took them for me.
Yeah. Why? What do you want with them?
I don't want them.
Oh, god damn it.
Who wants them?
Fetch quest.
He kind of, you can see he gulps deeply, and you can see the Adam's apple of his throat moves, and he says, "That devil, he told me to get him.
Where are they now?
They're upstairs."
Hang on, you said this devil.
Yeah, Strahd.
Oh,
I'll say his name, I'll say it, Strahd.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Why
He
would you
wanted
do
them.
things for him, you dummy?
And you said he was upstairs right now.
No, the bones are upstairs. Strahd is in here. But
Cool. We'll be taking those bones.
you're welcome to them, Anna.
And don't worry, if Strahd comes around asking where the bones are, tell them that his new friends have moved them.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
He's gonna know.
That's a horrible idea. Don't do that.
Well, we don't want to make the guy's life in danger.
I mean, the guy's
I don't
life's
want to get
in danger. If
my
you take
life
these
in
anyway.
danger.
But hey, that's what you get for stealing a relic that's supposedly protecting people. I do suggest to you that you probably leave town and, assume a new identity and uproot your life, because he's going to kill you otherwise, but you shouldn't have tried to, sell out your town.
He was going to kill me if I didn't get them.
Well, now he's going to try to kill everyone.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Kind of backed yourself into a corner there, didn't you?
Yeah, you did.
What choice did I have?
Well, presumably he couldn't get them himself.
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Well, you didn't think either.
When you're face to face with the devil, do you think you're thinking about the logic of it?
Oh,
No.
did you consider saying yes and then not doing it?
He'd kill me.
Right. We've reached that point, but
Be fair,
you
Strahd
could've
is pretty
left.
scary.
But he
scary.
would have killed you anyway. You don't know what he's going to do to those bones, and if he's really as scary as you say he's going to do, probably
He's
gonna make-
very scary.
Look. Listen. We're not here to hurt you. We just want the bones. And these bones are there to protect the chapel. Like, they're there for a reason. That's why they're supposed to be in there. If you leave them there, maybe Petrovich will actually let you stay there and protect you from Strahd.
Maybe. Oh, well, you're welcome to them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll head upstairs
All
towards
right.
the bones.
All right. Well, so there's 3 doors to the south of or the bottom of the room. So which door? There's a door to the left, in the middle, and then one on the right.
Vanderhort, which way are the bones?
Upstairs, middle door.
I stand beside him and I nod to one of you two to go get it, because I'm not letting him go until we know.
No, I'm staying with
That's smart.
Lokai.
I
All right,
shall
Lisa.
go up the stairs.
Well, we'll go over towards.
I can bring him with us. I don't want to like us to go up there and him leave.
I think 2 people can get some bones, right?
You should be fine.
They're big, strong boys. Look at them. They can get it.
I'm quivering just a little.
Nerolos is a big, strong boy.
Here,
Okay.
hang on. Okay, so they're upstairs. Where are they?
In my bedroom. Upstairs and door on the right. Not the left. The right.
You just said the middle.
No, middle door there. Up the stairs.
Upstairs on the
And
left.
take. Make sure to take.
What's on the left?
It's just my storage room.
Right. I'm gonna just go ahead and say that if there's something in the room on the left, you should tell us.
And make a persuasion check.
Okay. Oh, wow, I'm rolling good. That's unnatural 20.
All right, he says, "There's something foul in there.
What exactly?
I don't know. Strahd asked me to prepare a place for his people.
Would you call it a vampiric spawn?
I don't know. I haven't gone in there since."
Oh, God.
We can't wait. Let's leave that in there. That thing is
So-
loose. It's gonna terrorize people.
I've got a great idea. Let's get him out of here and then
And
burn
burn it
down
down.
the house. Yeah,
Yes,
I can
we have
light
the
this
same
on
idea.
fire so easily.
But we need to get those bones first.
Oh, yeah, go get the bones.
get the
Just
bones,
don't open
get
the
him
door
out,
on the left.
burn it down.
Then we leave, burn the house down.
All right.
I agree.
The house isn't
We should all
attached
go.
to any others, right?
Oh no, it's attached to others. It's a row of houses, from the outside at least.
Shit.
Burning the house down might not be a good idea.
Look, there's 4 of us. We should be able to have one will spawn. We can't let it go. We can't let it stay in here. It'll get free and shit will go bad for the town.
Eloquent
agree.
as ever, Lokai. Yes.
Okay.
Got a big axe, so chop it.
Yes,
or
hit it.
something.
So here's what
It'll be
I
fine.
think we should do. We should tie him up, just as a precaution. No, nothing personal. Then we get the bones. No. Should we deal with the vampire spawn before we get the bones?
We should probably deal with the spawn first.
Reasonable.
Just leave this guy down here. He's whatever. Whether he's lying or not at this point, we're gonna have to deal with whatever's upstairs.
We could feed the meat pie to the spawn. I've got one.
If it even eats.
Well, the previous one yelled at me and Lokai asking to eat our face or something. I can't remember.
Remember, vampires. You saw what Strahd did, right? Like they bite you.
Yeah.
Like they want pies.
Who says they don't like biting pies that I have a strong suspicion are made of people? So they might like it, and then that'll knock them out, and then we can go in there and just stab it in the eye.
You try it. Okay, you try that. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and tie up the hands of our.
Well,
You can go
Carpenter
first and
guessing.
feed it the pie.
Okay, yeah. Vanderhoot offers no resistance as you. Is it your metal manacles that you have?
oh yeah, I have manacles. Totally forgot.
You're a bounty hunter.
Great job.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he holds his hands out as you solemnly place the shackles on him.
All right, here we go. Take out my axe.
Oh, I'm so scared.
all right, are we going hitting with axe or giving pie?
Do you want to
Let's
go in
go with
first and
the-
feed it the pie?
Well, look, we just need the door open a little bit, and then we can throw the pie in.
A pie-sized hole in the door.
Fire in the
use
hole.
your axe, knock a pie-sized hole in the door, and we can post it through to them.
Fire in the hole.
Godfrey, for God's sakes, man.
What?
Like,
It makes perfect sense.
ugh. I look
say
together
we
too.
just-
I'm like,
let's not go the pie method. It seems a little too out there.
What,
I agree.
compared to getting mauled by a vampire spawn?
I look at what's his face,
Vanderhoot.
and
Vanderhoot.
I go, sorry.
Hit.
I go, is there anything else in here? You tell us now. Besides that spawn,
It's just a spawn.
just the one.
No,
Oh my god.
I don't. There's more than one.
How many are up there?
I shake him. I'm like, what aren't you telling us?
Pie.
As you're shaking, it's like, I've told you everything.
Pie. Pie
How
root.
many
Pie.
are up there?
I don't know. There's more than one.
Yeah, but is there less than 8?
I don't know.
You must know if there's less than 8.
I didn't see them come in. I've just heard them.
How many have you heard?
Meant a lot.
A lot. More
Well-
than 8?
I don't. More
I
than
like-
one.
I like
Oh,
smack
God.
my hand on like a table. I'm like, how many are there?
Make an intimidation check.
Try to this. 12.
Okay. He just says, I don't know.
All right. Well,
How-
A lot more fun.
okay.
I'm telling you, the pie method is impeccable.
I like the pie method, Godfrey, but the only issue I see is one spawn has to eat the whole pie.
No.
And if there's more than one,
They can all share it. It takes effect no matter. You don't have to eat a whole
No,
pie.
what? No, that's
you
not
do.
what that lady said.
That was specifically
God
in
damn
the
it.
instructions.
Yeah, but maybe it'll have a lesser effect to make them easier to stab.
All right, Godfrey, let's go.
All right, we can just fight
I got
all
my
the.
axe. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys
I
go through the
stomp
middle
up
door
middle-
and
middle
clomp
door
up the
upstairs.
creaky wooden stairs, and so there's a door to what would be your left and to your right. Which door would you like to go through?
Can I put my ear on the left door?
Yeah, sure. You can put your ear on it. Do you want to listen, or are you just putting your ear?
No, I just put my ear.
open up the
It's
valve.
not a
Here,
rest,
hold on.
just beating on it.
All right, make a perception check.
All right. 17.
17. Listening, trying to listen rather through the door. You don't seem to make out anything.
I obviously probably can't see anything. Like there's no like.
No, it's just a simple wooden door. There's no keyhole or anything like that. It's just a simple handle.
Before anyone does anything, I just want to pat Lokai on the back and kind of look at her and be like, I'm putting my trust in you. I want you to know that. And I'm gonna cast Bardic Inspiration
All right.
on Lokai.
Big
Do you
fan.
have Bardic Inspiration, Lokai?
Is it a D6?
It's a D6.
Yeah, it's
you
a
can cast
D6
it once within 10 minutes.
I will cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
I'm going to take out my bow and angle myself with the opening.
I
Okay.
look at the other three and I go, look, before we go in there, if shit goes awry or bad, you shut the door and you leave. You get out.
I'm gonna go ahead with a strong no on that one, but
The last thing I
We
want to do
cannot-
is
we
be
cannot
left here
let
with
these
just
things get out.
3.
We
We'll
can't let
try.
them get out because they'll cause havoc.
yeah. Don't worry, we'll just burn the place down if that happens.
It's okay to burn the whole city down.
I
if
mean,
it's
let's be
gonna
real,
burn
we're
down
fighting
anyway.
indoors. I'm probably gonna accidentally set it on fire anyway, so.
All right. Can I reach down to the door? Is it locked?
No, it seems to open. Would you like to open it?
No, I don't really want to. But can I slowly just creep it open a little bit?
Yes, you're just slicing the pie essentially as you
Hey.
slowly open the door. So yeah, well, it looks like a large drafty room with several crates stacked.
Is that it?
Well, that's where you can see it's quite poorly lit from the door. Like you'd have to probably move into the room. It
I have dark vision, FYI.
All right, okay. That does make things. So the room is essentially L-shaped, with you at the kind of the top end of the L. If that makes. So if you take an L, turn it upside down, you're at the top, or what would be the bottom now? Sorry, that is. I shouldn't have done that. That is so confusing.
You're on the stick of the L.
Yes. So take an L, turn it upside down, and then where the bottom left of the L is, you are there. Okay.
Tetris like a dream.
Wait,
Yeah.
you're talking a capital L. Oh,
Yeah. Sorry, I can't. Yes, a capital L. Oh my gosh. I shouldn't use a
So we're
description.
talking about
like
the
that.
inverse concave bottom of a capital L.
Yes.
All right, so I walk kind of in and like, I'm assuming you guys are behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, okay. Make sure to shut the door behind you once we get in here.
Okay, so you all kind of pile into the room and close the door behind you. And now you're in a little bit more. You can see that there's several crates and what looks to be bundles of timber stacked up along the sides of the room. There's a few windows, but look to be thoroughly boarded up with wooden boards that are nailed across them. And you.
I'm ready.
Okay. And there seems to be a large amount of dirt tracked across the floor. It's kind of scuffed in places. And you can just make out at the far end of the room, one of the tops of the crates that's just seemingly sitting in the middle has been smashed apart.
I slowly kind of saunter over, like at the ready for anything jumping at us. Plus, I'm like making sure I don't see anything suspicious on the way.
Okay, well, make a
There-
perception check.
Oh.
Sorry, what were you going to
It-
ask, Justin?
it's- It's still like later afternoon, so the sun's still up, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but we're in a dark room.
With a window. They're boarded up. But it is a window. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not. I'm picking up what you're laying down. And I'm also dumb. What am I doing? Perception?
Yeah. Yes.
16.
16. Okay, so as you get a little bit, or rather take a look around the room, as you kind of stop, a small amount of dirt patters onto your shoulder, and as you peer upward, you can see the horrifying image of a man, their hands and feet somehow clinging to the ceiling and keeping them aloft.
Always the fucking ceiling.
Their clothing is tattered and dirt smeared, and their skin is deathly pale, and as they let forth a terrifying hiss, you can see their mouth is a ringed maw of razor-sharp teeth, and you can notice that the upper incisors are incredibly sharp and pointed, and as they screech at you, their eyes glow with a blood-red light. And as if called by some unholy summons, 2 more crates further into the storage room, their lids burst open, and 2 more of these terrible creatures appear.
Let's go.
Onto the battle map.
Oh no.
Great.
And you can all roll initiative.
I'm in danger.
Exactly.
So, Craig, where are we in this room?
You guys are just roughly... Do you see what I mean? It's like an upside down L. Does it make more sense now?
Oh, yeah, we're like
Kind
over
of.
here.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Range.
Just give me
This
a moment,
area.
and I will reveal the beasties.
Oh, good.
So this guy's a
I'm
little bit
assuming,
further
like,
along
I'm
down
up
the
here,
roof.
yeah.
Pretty much. He's on the roof. The other 2 have just broken out of their crates.
Great.
Can't be that high up, can it?
No, the ceiling's about 10 foot up. You could swing at it easily, I would say.
Can you add us
so
to
yeah.
the turn order?
Oh yeah, my mistake. I always forget I had to do that. There we go. My mistake.
I rolled really well.
I rolled poorly.
Let's go, Vamp boys. Holy shit, John.
I rolled a 19 plus 3. Love it.
I rolled really badly. I didn't put myself on. Oops.
Oh, music got loud. Uh-oh.
Can I have a turn,
Is
Craig?
it too loud? I
No,
don't
No, it's
I
fine.
just-
It's fine. It's fine.
It was a noticeable bump, and I was like, huh, huh.
know.
John,
I rolled a
it's your-
7. That's good.
Okay, all right. So, let's see. Layson, starting us off. What would you like to do, my friend?
This was actually something I was I was wanting to do before battle started, but this perfect opportunity. I'm going to cast Fairy Fire.
Okay.
In a circle, kind of centered on the just behind the center guy
And
to
it's
try to
it's-
hit all 3 of them.
It's dex saves from all of them, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And can you also give me the text of Fairy Fire just in roll 20? Because I need to check something. Okay. All right, give me a second here.
Yeah.
All right, so far left guy, that's 17.
That saves.
The one above Lokai, that's an 11.
That fails.
Okay. Let me just give him the snail of Fairy Fire.
Don't worry, I got it.
And then the... Oh, that's right. Yeah, I do still have that. Okay, so this
Big
is a
boy
new-
Vico
yeah.
coming in clutch with the Fairy Fire.
Look at that. And then the final one, okay, that's a natural one, so it's also fairy fired.
That's the far left one or the back one?
The
top
back,
one.
the top one. And then, oh my gosh, okay. As you cast that,
Oh,
2
God.
more branches of fairy fire emanate over 2 crates further in the back, and essentially I will just reveal these creatures now as well.
God, there's lots of them.
But they are still within their crates.
Oh, good.
So I know that's a lot of fairy fires for you to manage, John. I hope you're up to the task.
No, that's all right. Yeah, they're all on there at the moment.
Okay.
Slightly, because some of them are a little off.
Yeah,
the
they're quite.
center.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you've cast fairy fire. Anything else?
No. That's it for me. Because that's my action. So I'm gonna just move slightly up to try to get a better vantage point. Maybe
Okay.
behind Lokai.
All right, Lokai.
All right, I'm going to rage.
I would like to rage.
I'm going to rage, and I'm going to take a swing at the one on top of me.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so and it's an advantage because he's fairy fired.
Yep, that's correct.
So 21.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. So sorry. 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay. So as you essentially leap up and swing your axe, it just gouges across the back of the creature and it hisses out towards you.
And then I end my turn because, you know, I can't go very much further than that.
All right. Niralos.
Okay. So I've literally never used this before.
Uh-oh.
But I've heard it's been good.
The attack
So we'll
option.
see.
Oh.
I'm going to take a -5 with sharpshooter because I have advantage on the not the farthest back one, but the one this one.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. No worries.
Okay, so I'm going to shoot it with advantage, but -5.
Yeah, basically negates your bonus.
So that's 16 plus 3, 19.
19 hits.
Yes, that does seem incredibly dumb. 1d8 plus 4 plus 10. Oh my god, max damage. 22.
22, okay.
Who
Nice.
gets sniped,
All
vampire?
right, so as this vampire like screams out of the crate, just this bolt comes, or arrow, sorry, comes shooting out and just embeds deep into her chest, and she rears back and screeches out as it embeds deep within her.
I don't believe I have any bonus actions, so I'll go ahead and end my turn.
All right. So, let's see. For them, first of all, the one opposite you, Lokai. Let's see. Okay, so he is going to drop down from the ceiling, and he's now alongside you. Well, actually, I should say as well, before he dropped down and whilst he was still clinging to the ceiling, the wound that you scored across his back completely closed up. And the one that is standing up in the crate as well, the deep arrow that pierced through her, the wound there has also completely closed up.
Do we see this?
Yeah, you all see it.
Windows.
Run.
Every fight I've been in this campaign so far, we've just run away.
Okay, so the vampire spawn opposite you, Lokai, first of all, with its first attack, is going to swing out at you with its claws, and that's a 21 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. And then its second attack, because it gets 2. Okay, that's a 13. All right, so the first attack, you get 10 points of slashing damage as its claws just rake across your chest.
Okay.
And then the one that Nirlo shot is going to screech out and just run down towards Layson, and she's going to try and swing at you with both her claws. So the first one is 16.
That hits.
All right, and the second one is that's an 8.
That does not hit.
Okay, so this time, as she hits you, rather than digging her claws into your flesh, Layson, she is going to try and grapple you. And I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, good.
Sorry, not strength saving, so it's an athletics or acrobatics check. My mistake.
Ooh, okay, perfect.
It's like retcon
Better.
the entire last 20 minutes.
Yeah. Natural 1.
Natural 1. Okay, so you are now grappled.
Great.
And then the one at the far back is going to, let's see. Oh, yeah, you can easily make that. Lokai, it runs alongside you, and it's also going to try and swipe at you. So the first one is an 18.
Yep.
That hits. Okay, and the second attack is 15.
Yep.
Okay, so both hit. Okay, so from the first attack, you take 8 points of slashing damage, and the second attack, you take 9 points of slashing damage, as it's just essentially swiping at you with its claws and tearing apart your skin.
Mm-hmm.
And the two in the far back crates suddenly also burst forth and erupt from them, and a third one appears in the back corner of the room. So now there's 6 total in the room with you, and that ends their turn.
Got any fireballs?
Not quite yet, I'm afraid. After seeing the wounds heal, I will yell at the ones in melee combat. Yeah, we should probably run.
Blow out the windows.
We don't know that. And I'll blast past Layson and Lokai and fire a scorching ray at the one north of Lokai on the map.
Okay.
All right. I have advantage, right? Because it's verified. So.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, first ray is okay, first one's on a natural 20, second one's on a natural 21. So that hits, I assume?
Yes.
Alright. First one is brilliant. 3 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Second ray, 16, and then an 11.
Okay.
16?
Sorry, 16 hits. Yes.
Okay. That is 9 points of fire damage. And then the third ray is an 8. And then a 23. There you go.
So 23. Okay, the 23 hits. Yes.
Okay. And that is for 6 points of fire damage.
Okay. All right. So let me just check something. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah. So as you fire off a bolt or 3 bolts, they'll just collide into the spawn, and it kind of screeches out. And as you can see, its flesh is getting blackened and blistered, and it's looks to be in some pain from the fire.
Fire good. Alright. And that will end my turn.
Okay. Layson.
You guys gotta move if we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
'Cause I can't get out the door unless you guys do.
Well, I'm pretty small. You can go past me.
I would like to break the grapple.
Okay, go ahead. So it's I believe it's an acrobatics or strength check to break out of a grapple. I believe it's just a athletics check for me to try and. Okay, so that's
I rolled a 12.
Okay, I got 7 total. So you do break out of the grapple.
So does that's what, half my movement? What was that? Yeah. Okay.
Well, no, to break out of a grapple is just an action.
An action.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you still have your full movement and your bonus
Gotcha.
action.
I am going to
Move.
where though?
Out. Just run.
Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the door right.
I can't take disengage, unfortunately.
You can attack.
You're gonna
man.
get
If you stay
shredded
here any
anyway.
Longer, you're gonna get
Yeah,
shredded.
I guess I'm gonna just bolt around behind people.
Okay, so let's say the first. Okay, so as you move away, the first one that's just the left of Lokai swings at you. Okay, that's a 8 to hit.
That misses. Sorry,
I missed. And then
Yikes.
the one that you're moving away from, let's see, that's a 14 total.
I would like to cast Cutting Words
Okay, so what does
as
that
a
do?
reaction. So I roll. I use one of my bardic inspiration points.
Okay.
And I roll a d6 and take it away from there. It's the opposite
Okay.
of
All right.
bardic inspiration.
All right. Okay, so if you want to roll a d6 and let me know what you get.
Bardic discouragement.
I rolled a 5,
A 5. Okay, so that brings it down to a 9.
which misses.
Okay, all right. So as you yell out as it swipes at you, seemingly the words befuddle it for a moment, and it just misses you and catches air. So you manage to dodge those attacks. So I think you still have 10 feet of movement, by the way. You only move 20 feet there if you want to get even further away. All right, there we go.
And I'm out the door.
He's out the door. Okay, Lokai.
All right. I'm going to use my action to disengage.
Okay.
Am I about to frontline tank 3 vampires?
No. I'm gonna go in front of you. And I'm
Okay.
gonna do that and cry. And
Yeah,
that's
cry?
the end of my turn.
All right. Nirulos.
I was
am
ready to be
going
so brave too.
I am going to shoot this window.
Okay, it is boarded up, and you are just shooting an arrow at it.
Where's the big arrow? Fine.
Spells? No, you're a fighter, aren't you?
I'm a fighty man. I'm used to being a spelly man. I am going to I'm going to shoot at. Wait, wasn't the woman one the one that was mystical?
I might have accidentally put it on the wrong one.
Was it that one? All right.
It's
So
the
I
middle
know-
one that's not John's. This one.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
There we go.
Sorry.
That looks right.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
the closest lady, vampire monster, I'm going to shoot with my arrow. I'm not going to do the sharpshooter because I actually need to hit it.
Okay.
I don't want to risk it, even though I do have. Yeah, I mean it was a 2 and a 9, so I'm very glad I didn't do that. So 9 plus my things is 13.
13 doesn't hit, I'm afraid. It's your arrow just goes wide and sinks into the back wall of the room.
I'm going to use my action surge. because I want to help the party. I'm going to once again attack Vampire Woman.
Okay.
All right, this is still. Oh, cool, nat 20.
Nat 20, yeah, that hits. Obviously.
One was a 12, one was a nat 20. Okay, so they're going to take 2d8. Oh, right, sorry. When I hit it, I am allowed to use a grasping arrow. So, actually, can I add this to the thing? There we go. So it's going to conjure some grasping spines. It will reduce the target's speed by 10 feet.
Okay.
And it takes damage moving a single foot inside of it. So,
Okay.
so that's actually an additional 2d6 poison, which is that also included with the crit? The 2d6.
No, because it's at the first time on each of its turn. If it moves, it only takes the.
No, the creature hit by the arrow takes an extra 2d6.
Oh, sorry, I see that. Yeah, then it would be because it's damage die on a crit.
Cool. Let's see. 2, 5, 8, 9, 13, 14 plus 4, 18.
Okay, 18 damage altogether, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
And her speed is reduced, and now for my movement, I will move back here, and I will ready my bow. Well, I'll have my bow out still.
Okay.
Line of sight, but
All right.
that's it.
Okay, so let's see the spawn. Okay, so let's start with the closest one. So, it takes damage at the start of its turn, is it, or whenever it moves?
First time
For
it
each
moves on
1
its turn.
foot it moves.
No, it's the first time it moves on its turn.
All right. Okay, so it is going to essentially scrabble over the
moves
top.
1 foot or more, yeah.
Oops, I moved the fairy fire. Okay, so it scrabbles over the top of the storage, and it will take the 2d6. So if you want to roll that for me, Justin.
Sure. Ooh, heck yeah, 11.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to manage all this. There we go. Okay, so as it steps up onto the top of the wooden planks, it's going to swing it down at you, Lokai. So for the first attack, that's a 9, which I assume misses. And
No.
the second attack, okay, that's a 8. So not a good
Nope.
show. All right, so the second one, it's also going to close the distance and try and swing at you. So first attack is a 17.
Yep.
Okay, and from that one you take that'll be 8 points of slashing damage as its claws rake across you. And the second attack is a non-natural 20.
Yep.
And from that one you take 8 points of slashing damage again as it
Okay.
just with a second swing gets you. And then, sorry, I'm just going to move this guy down. He also moves further along and swings out at you. I'm sorry, little guy, but you're in the front. Okay, so the first attack is a 15.
Yeah.
Okay, so from that you take 6 points of slashing damage, and the second attack is a natural 20.
Oh,
Poof.
And from that one you take 13 points of slashing damage as it just drags its hand
6.
right across your face. And then the
Okay.
three in the back, they leap up and grasp onto the ceiling. Hold on, I'm just going to move these fairy fires out of the way for a second, John. They leap up and grasp onto the ceiling, and using all their movement, are hanging from the ceiling around you, Godfrey.
you having a fucking
I will
giggle,
say
mate?
you are short enough, and that you wouldn't you wouldn't take an attack of opportunity from the ones on the roof.
All right.
So yeah, that ends their turn as they're surrounding Lokai. So Godfrey, what would you like to do?
All right. What a great turn. All right. I'm going to put my hand on Lokai's back. Say, all right, time to go, buddy. And I'm going to cast invisibility on her.
Okay.
Which she becomes invisible until the spell ends. It is my concentration. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible as long as it's on the target's person. The spell
Nice.
ends if she attacks or casts a spell.
All right. Okay.
And then I am going to run out the door. So there's one
Okay.
in range that can.
Yeah, there's one in
opportunity
range.
attack.
The one
Okay.
that's been grasping.
Yeah,
out.
I'm gonna just try running out the door. So I'll take that reaction attack.
All right. So that's oh, you lucky bastard. That's a 9.
Doesn't hit me. I had
Too
so
quick.
much against that anyway. Don't worry.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
So you're out the door. So you still dashing me? Are you wanting to go down the stairs?
I'm going to. Yeah, I'm gonna dash down the stairs.
Okay. So I will reveal the rest of the house.
Oh, fucking great. Oh, good. I'm glad you got a comment map for it. That really reassures me. Thanks,
No, don't worry. As you get down to the food, well, where would you be? So you're pretty much at the door. Really,
I guess I would have ran like here. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We'll go there.
So as you get down, you can see Vanderhoor is still there with the shackles on his wrist, and he's quivering. He says, "What's going on?"
No, nothing good. They're not out of the room. They're out of the boxes.
Oh, bloody hell. We're dead. All right.
Not yet.
All right. Layson, what would you like to do?
Fuck.
So
I would like to.
You've seen Lokai just disappear from your eyes.
Bear in mind, my invisibility has like a... I am casting a spell when I do it, so he would have seen me cast it on her, I guess. And he knows magic, so... Yeah.
I know that specific magic, too.
Hey. I recommend you cast it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast invisibility on my own self.
All right.
And
so you turn invisible also?
And I will walk. I'll briskly run.
Just a casual stroll, don't mind me.
That didn't work the way I wanted it to.
Right. Okay, so you went 15 feet, so you're now at the bottom. Yep, sorry, I grabbed onto you there. There you go.
Yep. So that's 30 feet, I think, from... Oh, so at the bottom of the stairs, 15, so then I could go another 10 from where I'm standing here.
Yeah.
So
sorry, I just know it's important for you guys to get as much movement as possible.
Yes.
All right, Lokai, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna get out of the room.
Okay.
Or you can just run out.
Yeah, I'm invisible, so they shouldn't be able
You're
to
just
see
gonna run out.
I'm gonna shut the door on my way out.
Okay.
Can I lock it?
There's no lock on the door. It's just a simple handle.
Jesus Christ.
For God's sakes.
Just realized Norlos just watched a door close on its own.
Fine. Door's closed. I'm good.
What the fuck do we
can I yell
actually
down
do?
the stairs? Can I yell down the stairs? Because I'm assuming at the bottom of the stairs is another door over there.
Yeah.
Like, according to the map.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Okay, so can I yell down the stairs, get furniture ready to, like, block off the stairs, basically?
Okay. Yeah, you yell that out.
Yeah, I prepare that. Do I hold the door, or do I Hodor it right now, or do I fucking book it?
I think you book it.
But what about Nerolos? He's gonna
Nah,
get
I'm fine.
fucked up.
I have my turn before them.
Okay, alright, I'm gonna go down the stairs, and in that case,
Okay.
I went 20 feet, so I can go another...
Get to the base of the
Yeah,
stairs.
you can get to pretty much the base of the stairs.
Get to the chopper.
I'm gonna be down the stairs.
Okay,
Can I get to here, or...
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no problem.
I'm like...
All right. Nerolos, what would you like to do?
So, before I decide what to do, I have one very important question. Is the window in the room I'm in barred?
Yes.
Like, shit.
Yes, they're all heavily barred windows.
Get the fuck out.
Wait, yeah, so with wooden planks,
Yeah,
right?
they're all boarded up.
All right, well, there goes my plan. Okay, Neurolos assumes that Lokai is possibly holding the door from the other side. So, seeing the other two leave, I'm gonna go ahead and leave.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can only get to the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
Did we
Which
just
I guess-
kill everyone in Valaki?
Maybe.
Unconfirmed.
Did anyone
I'm going to
get
ready
the...
my action, pointing up at the stairs. If I
Wait,
see
wait,
one
what?
of those monsters, I'm going to shoot it.
Nobody
Okay.
got the bones.
No!
Yeah,
they
that-
did get
of
them.
course
I
not.
was going to. If the window up there wasn't closed, I was going to go into the next room, like close the door I was in, go to the next room,
Oh my god.
try to get the boat.
You're absolute mongoloids. is
We
what you
did.
are.
We did great work, guys.
I start eating my pie.
All right. Okay. So I'm just gonna hide the room from you guys, just so you can't see what the vampires do. Of
We're gonna start playing a game of poker or something.
Yeah. they break out the crates like, let's get them off, boys. Let's have a nice game.
We's orcs now.
Okay. So give me a second. I've got to do something and check.
Mhm.
He's
Can they figure out how
He's
to open the
googling
door?
best module for campaign 3.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
It's basically, I think, it's to figure out whether or not they can open the door. Or break down the door. One of the two.
Yeah. Okay. So, Neurolos, you hear pounding and you see a hand break through the door and then quickly pull back, and then.
Motherfucker! We should have the bones.
Sorry, can you also roll 2d6 for me, Nerolos?
Uh-oh.
Why am I so stupidly brave?
2d6?
Yeah, so that's for the grasping arrow damage.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure that stays in the place where it was, right? It doesn't attach to them.
I do have an 8 intelligence.
They wrap around the target, so it wraps around the target.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
More
is-
damage.
6 damage.
Nice. All right. And then you see the door frame take one bash, and then a second bash that just bashes through the handle of the door, and the door just throws itself open. But nothing else passes through the door for now. So that
You
ends
can't come
their
in
turn.
here.
This is a sacred place.
So Godfrey, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna look at Lokai and say, "Are we running away?"
Well, you can look at Lokai because she's invisible.
I know. Yeah.
But you know what?
true.
I would say you'd have a good idea.
Can
She's
you hear me,
down
like,
there.
She
stomp my way down the
still
stairs?
makes sound, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I would
But you
say,
do-
are we running away?
We should probably barricade this door first.
Yeah, that could work. I guess. Didn't they like? Ah, fuck it. Let's barricade the door.
Wait, were the windows downstairs uncovered?
Nope, they're also all barred.
What?
All right.
I mean,
well,
I assume that's
let's
part
start
of
moving coffins in front of the door, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Okay. So I can't.
Shit.
The
It's a part of the map.
yes, it's a part of the map. So
Problem
if
is,
you just-
Nerolos is still in the fucking stairs.
yes. I would say dragging a coffin is probably kind of a difficult thing. Do make a strength
I
check
did.
for it.
Could I even?
Can I?
do it? Like,
Yeah, make a strength check for me, Godfrey. And I would say,
I'm gonna use
Nah,
my
I-
inspiration.
all right, okay.
Wait, am I doing it or is Lauren?
I don't know.
Is Lauren taking my turn for me? All right.
Oh, sorry.
We are still in combat, technically.
All right. Strength check. All right. Oh god, I'm not very good at that. I'm not very good at that. It's a 1
Oh,
with a -1 modifier, so I technically rolled a 0.
okay. So you grab onto one of the coffins and you try to pull it, and you just can't get any movement or shift.
Why
to it.
am I the one doing this? All right. Yeah, I guess I will just scoot back a bit into the room and end my turn. I'll go
Okay.
a little further back. Yeah. All right. I'll end my
Okay.
turn. Yeah.
All right, before your turn, John, I'm just giving Vanderhoot a turn. So I'm just going to give him 25 just so he's at the top. Because it's him. So he says,
What?
"You fools! Get out! Get out!" And he just essentially barrels out the front door.
I think you might be right.
Though he is still shackled up.
Here's my shackles.
Yeah. So that ends his turn. So Layson.
So, yeah,
Fucker's not attacking.
if I stand, just as a question, if I stand in front of Lokai here, can I see the top of the stairs?
I would say you could see partial parts of the stairs, but not the landing of the stairs.
I am in the way.
Can I see the back wall? Can I see this back wall?
No, you can see the steps of it, but not the back wall.
Damn. Okay, so I want to. Yeah, I guess I'll just try to grab a coffin.
Okay.
A guy with a 0
Make a
strength.
make,
is
make a
gonna give
strength check then. If you're gonna try and shove a coffin in front of the
Oh, natural 20.
natural 20.
No,
All
you
right,
said
wait. Yeah,
I'm
just-
not dying today.
Okay, so
like those pregnant women that get really strong when they're trying to save their kids.
okay, so
Yeah,
you
from 5 vampires.
well, it was 6 actually.
God damn it.
So you push the coffin in front of the door. It's partially covered right now, but there's still, I would say, space for Nerolos to squeeze through. There'll probably be difficult terrain, but he is not trapped on the other side of the door just yet.
And as a as a
sorry.
bonus action, I'm gonna cast. I'm just gonna. Oh wait, I can't see her. Never mind. Never mind.
All right, okay. So Lokai, what would you like to do?
I guess does my invisibility break?
And no, because you didn't do anything that would discontinue concentration on it.
Okay.
So You still have it. You didn't take damage or anything like that.
I'm gonna grab a second coffin and basically get it ready. Once Nerolos peeks through the door, I'm just gonna.
All right. Okay. So we'll come back to that because you're essentially be reacting after Nerolos' turn. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
All right. So Nerolos, what would you like to do?
I would like to move back here
All
and
right.
keep my bow trained on that door.
All right. You keep your bow trained on the door, and Lokai, if you'd like to make a strength check for me. Sorry. Anything else, Nerolos? Sorry, or are you just keeping an eye on?
Well, I'm still like doing the same readied action.
All right. Yep. No worries. Okay. And Lokai, if you want to make a strength check for me.
Yeah, I do have advantage because Ragey.
Oh yes, that's correct.
Oh, good thing. Use my inspiration. I have a 15.
Yeah, I would say that's enough. You were prepared for it and ready for
I
it.
rolled a
and-
natural on my first die. Thank God.
Good thing you had advantage then. So you bar the door with a coffin. You think it looks sturdy enough to hold them for a time.
All right. So once that's done, I kind of like pat it up there, and I'm like, time to go.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start backing up
I
as
agree.
well.
Okay. So
I'm
I would
gonna
say.
back up in front of my friends here.
All right. Okay. So I would say we'll come out of combat now, and we'll come off the battle map. Just one moment. And I would say that so after a small moment or so, you hear pounding on the door alongside the coffins, and it looks like maybe with steady progress and time, they'll eventually break through. But you have time to do something if you want to. What would you
Let's
like to do?
take the things off the windows.
Do we even know sunlight harms vampires?
We
I would say it's
don't.
gonna-
But the reason I say that is because the windows were boarded. He did say Strahd specifically asked him to hold the prepare thing. My assumption was that this store wasn't always boarded up.
I would say it's a bit of a stretch.
It seems like a bit of
Is
a
it?
reach, yeah.
Yeah.
And just as a minor point to that, the only vampire-esque person we've seen has been just out in the daylight.
That's a good
Strahd
point.
has just been walking
Yeah,
around.
Strahd has just been walking around. He's the only vampire we've met.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, they did also say the things only come out at night.
Yeah, but I
And-
would say that's still a stretch to correlate things only coming out at night, meaning they're harmed by sunlight.
Yeah. This is a really weird place. Like, we can't really make any solid assumptions.
What do we do though? What about the bones?
Can I
Oh,
keep
yeah.
boarding it up with more coffins?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no strength checks. You
Wait,
essentially
can I
stop to move
cast-
furniture.
Unseen servant and send them upstairs to get the bones. I want to summon Invisible Steve and send him upstairs to get the bones.
Okay, so what does Invisible Steve exactly let you
Okay,
do?
let me read you the text on Invisible Steve.
Invisible.
This spell creates an invisible, mindless, shapeless force, called Steve, that performs simple tasks at your command until the spell ends. The servant springs into existence in an unoccupied space. Its stats are irrelevant. Once on each of your turns as a bonus action, you can command the servant to move up to 15 feet and interact with an object. It can perform simple tasks like fetching things, cleaning, mending, folding clothes, lighting fires, serving food, pouring wine. And once you give the command, the servant performs the task to the best of its ability. And it only ends if it moves more than 60 feet away from me.
But how is
Okay.
it gonna get the bones
So what
down?
are you
I'm going to
commanding
tell
it
it to
do?
go upstairs, turn to the, upstairs would be on the right, and go find the bones and bring them back down. And meet
Okay.
us.
But the bones aren't shapeless.
What do you mean? The unseen servant is shapeless, not the bones. He can fetch things.
Right. How is he going to get it to us?
He's going to carry them. He can fetch things.
Yeah, but once he gets past the door, how are we gonna get it? Because the door's blocked.
Yeah, but I thought there was a gap where Nerolos came through. As long as the bones
Well-
can ram themselves through a small gap in the barricade.
I would say Lokai's barricaded up the door quite soundly now with all the
God damn it.
coffins she moved in front of
God
it.
damn it, Invisible
Sorry,
Steve can't get
there's
through.
vampires on the other side.
Alright, never mind. I just wave to Invisible Steve when he arrives.
I mean, there might be a window. Maybe Invisible Steve can go through the window.
I think they're all boarded up.
We didn't check
Alright.
his room.
Yeah? I mean, he can't be harmed. I'll
What if
send
we
him.
go from the outside? What if we
Oh, yeah,
go
we
from the
could-
outside, climb up into?
Alright, he's here now anyway because I summoned him, so he's just gonna follow us around. We can use him later.
Alright, okay.
He lasts for an hour, so Invisible Steve is now with the party.
What if we go outside? We go underneath where what's his face is Van Hoot. This window
Smash
might
the
be-
window and send Steve up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's do that.
Alright, okay. Hold on.
The silliest way to do
We're
this.
just let vampires out. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think I'll turn off the high octane music though, just so we can all relax a bit, because it's getting a bit intense.
It's a little intense.
Invisible Steve is too stressed to compute his job.
Okay.
The music.
Okay. So you guys dash back outside, and Vander, who has seemingly disappeared, you saw him run out onto the street. Okay, so you close the door behind you, hopefully barring whatever is inside. And yeah, so Vander, who's disappeared, and as I said, it is sort of a row of houses, but you can see there's sort of like a back alley further down that you would assume leads to a back garden, where because you guys had a rough idea of the layout of the house, you would know that the bedroom window faces out onto the back garden.
Yeah, we know approximately, I think, where his bedroom
Okay.
is.
So you guys move around the back window, or round towards the back garden of the house, which is kind of strewn with rubbish and half-made coffins, and other like throwaway things. And you can see there's windows facing onto the back of the house, on the bottom left of the house, and then the upper middle and upper right of the house. And you would assume Nerlos, you saw the upper right-hand window is the one of the kitchen that you entered briefly. And the other room is the only one you guys haven't gone into, and you can probably assume is the bedroom.
All right, how do we smash the window?
How high up is it?
It's probably about 11, 12 feet up.
Oh, that's not that high.
Easy mode. I can climb up there and try to hack it down.
All right.
I'll give it a go at least.
Yeah, you just gotta break a hole in it.
Yeah, Craig, can I try to like go up there and then like hack out like a piece of the barricade just to like make a little hole?
Sure, yeah. Let's say first is it athletics or acrobatics for a climb? I think it's athletics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Make an
How
athletics.
strong I am, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
That was shit. 10?
10. I would say you kind of scramble and try to find purchase along the brickwork of the house until eventually, after some trying and scraping your legs, you eventually manage to pull yourself up alongside the window.
Okay.
So what would you like to do?
I'm gonna whip out my axe and I'm gonna try to like this is gonna be really awkward. Actually, I don't think I could do this with an axe because it's like two-handed, right?
It takes two hands to wield in a combat situation dealing damage, but you can still hold it in one hand.
All right, so can I like try to like jam like a hole in it big enough so that like the bones could like fit through it?
Sure, yeah. We just want to. Are you deliberately trying to make it a small hole, or?
Yeah, I don't want to make it very big. I want to make it like fairly small, like.
In that case, make an attack with disadvantage.
Little did you know we're getting dinosaur bones, and they're like this big.
St. Andrew was actually a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
It's a 9.
A 9. Okay.
I rolled a freaking natural 20 with one of my dice too.
Okay, so you try to make a small gap and end up smashing off probably about half of the window pane as like shards of glass fall out and glitter onto the ground. And the behind the window is also boarded up with wooden planks.
For God's sakes. Can I keep smashing until it...
Yeah, you can just keep smashing it on the boards until essentially you've made a gap, and you can see into a bedroom. And you can see there's a wardrobe, a bookshelf, and a bed, and a small little bedside table, and a small chair.
All right, I look down, and I kind of hop back down. And I go to Godfrey, I go, Steve's ready to go.
All right, I will mentally command Steve by saying, all right, Invisible Steve, you gotta go up there. Have a look around. You're looking for some bones. They're probably going to be wrapped in some sort of cloth, and bring them back down to us.
Okay. So, Invisible Steve. And well, he's not invisible, is he? He's just Steve. Or is he invisible? It is unseen Steve.
Unseen Steve.
Yeah.
Get a load of this guy, eh? Okay, so you send him up towards, and he drifts through what you can assume to be the gap in the window. Why don't you make... Does Steve has stats, does he?
Steve has only, like, sort of combat-relevant stats. He's got, like, an AC, a hit point, 1 hit point, and a strength of 2, and he can't attack.
Okay.
He's only got combat stats, basically.
Okay.
But it says that he can, like, fetch things. He can do, like, a lot of stuff. He's pretty capable.
Yeah.
He can, like, pour drinks.
He can mend stuff,
so
he can clean stuff, he can, like, yeah.
Okay.
I
All
mean,
right. Okay.
I think he'd have the basic knowledge to figure something
Okay.
out.
Yeah. I'd say it will. After a small amount of time, you can hear the sound of furniture being partially opened and
The
closed.
vampire's just like,
Until eventually you see what looks to be a small handful of crushed purple velvet floats out from the window and slowly drifts down towards you.
Steve,
when it lands, I'll get it. I'll take it. I'm like, hey, thanks, Steve.
Okay. So it's just a bundle of purple velvet in your hands.
All right. Can I check the contents of it?
All right, yeah, sure. You open it up and take a look inside, and yeah, what looks to be in there is a hold on, let me check the specific bones. Not that I think it's that important. Okay, it's a femur bone, a bone from a rib cage, and half a jawbone. As well as that, there's a small collection of bone dust at the kind of bottom of the bundle, but most of the bones are bleached and they seem to be quite old. However, along edges where it looks like the bones may have cracked in places before, it looks to have been inlaid with gold at points. They look well, quite fancy for
I can
bones,
see why
actually.
he might have wanted them to
Well,
sell.
these look awfully saintly.
Hmm.
Shall we take them back to Danovich? Not Danovich, the other one, Petrovich?
We should probably alert the guards or something.
Well, they're not coming out of the house.
Yeah.
Right, but we should still inform
Yeah,
them
we should
that
maybe
they're-
put a sign, vampires inside or something.
My question is it safe for us to leave? Like, are they gonna be able to get out? I mean, I barricaded it pretty darn good.
Well,
but...
bear in mind, these things supposedly roam the streets anyway at night, so
Fair enough.
there's a few more now. Yay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we probably want to let someone know about this place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything like is there any old coffins in the front of the yard outside?
No.
Okay. Is there any other large objects like a cart or a wagon or anything?
There's partially made and discarded coffins in the back garden. Are you looking for something to board up the front door?
Yeah, I was kind of looking at something to board it up.
Yeah. Well, I would say there is like discarded wood and scraps of wood and things like that. You could barricade the door in some way with it if you had potentially like the tools to do it, like hammers and nails. But there's
I
nothing.
have a wood carver's kit, so technically I might
Oh,
actually.
do you?
That's,
All right.
That's a carpenter's kit. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I would say that's fair enough. So you gather what scraps of wood and planks that you can, and if you just want to make a wood carver's or a carpenter's tool check for me
Okay.
to see how well you can do this.
It's been a while since I've carpentered. Actually, it's a natural 20. Oh, a
Unnatural
freaking damn
20.
good carpenter.
Okay, with speed and seemingly great ability, Lokai deftly barricades up the front door of the coffin maker's shop, and it looks to be fairly secure. And as you step back and proudly admire your handiwork, before you guys decide to do whatever you'd like to next, we'll go ahead and end it for today there.
All right. Well, that went well.
Cliffhangers.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been so stressed in my life.
Yeah, that
Woo.
was a pretty stressful one, eh?
So,
I will say this campaign is living up to the expectations of
Yeah.
we're not going to be killing things left and right.
No.
Why aren't we killing it all?
No.
I like the
I
fact that in 3 hours, Invisible Steve made more progress than 4 of us.
Well done, Invisible
He's
Steve.
better. He's the
He's
MVP.
gonna... Fair enough. All right. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed that. I thought it was a lot of fun. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe to Merchant on YouTube so you can keep up to date with when new episodes come out. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.